Allow me to introduce myself. Who knows what dastardly crime might perpetrate next? You're a very clever arch criminal who must be put away. Another innocent victim of genocidal maniac.
Hey, peace and love to everybody out there. Before I start, let me just say, hey, I want to give everybody a thanks for supporting over the years, and thanks for everything that we've learned and done over the years. And I'm here. All right, best-selling author. All right. Before I do anything or say anything else, I want to play a video, right? That's very interesting from my brother From Nothing's channel. And I just thought this video, I would start today's show with this video. Beautiful video.
Hello, everyone. It's Jabari here. And first of all, I'd just like to thank everyone for helping me reach my goal of 1,000 subscribers. It really means a lot to me, and it brings me just one step closer to being able to accomplish my goal of doing these videos full time. As a show of my gratitude, one lucky subscriber is going to win a $10 Amazon gift card. And I know it's not a whole lot, but it's just a little something to show my gratitude. Like, I could not have gotten here without you guys, quite literally, actually. So, again, I really appreciate it. And if you would like to be a part of this, comment the video as regularly, but as long as you include the words gift card somewhere within your comment, then you will be eligible to win. Just to warn you guys ahead of time, this is going to be somewhat, not completely, but somewhat of a rant video. If you're new to my channel, welcome, and I really hope you enjoy my content. If you are a regular, you probably already know that my agenda with this channel is to spread knowledge of the ignored, neglected, and misunderstood aspects of Black culture and history. Not just to Black people, but to everyone of every race and from every part of the world. However, there tends to be a toxic trend among many Black African enthusiasts, or Afrocentrists, trying to assert outrageous claims towards our people and our history. Unfortunately, comments like these tend to find a home in my comment section every day. These comments do more harm than good and just make the world and our own people have even less respect for our culture and history, and make channels like mine, which actually bear factual information, less credible, especially to random viewers who come here seeking knowledge. These unfortunate people are so shrouded with pseudo-historic, Afrocentric information that they end up very confused and don't even know what to believe anymore. From claiming the history of other cultures to treating the Bible as a Black history book, I'm going to cover the top 5 things that annoy me the most about Afrocentric people. Number 5. Acting as if there's a global conspiracy to hide our history while making up their own truth without any references. Don't get me wrong, I know that at one point in history, white people view Blacks as inferior and subhuman, and unfortunately, some still do to this day. Back during the days of extreme racism, we weren't even considered human beings, and this was actually used as a justification for enslaving us and treating us as second-class citizens. Even the scientific community did their best to reinforce these beliefs, and archaeologists would literally destroy real and true relics of our history, including ruins, artifacts, and manuscripts. With that being said, this isn't really to say that there aren't aspects of our history that have been destroyed or hidden, but in this day and age, with equality among all races and access to information literally in the palm of our hands, these things simply don't happen anymore. One can easily travel to any part of the world, access any information they'd like, and create videos, movies, and documentaries about anything their heart desires. Not only that, but there is simply no proof or evidence that our history is still being deliberately hidden or erased. Granted, I do agree that it needs more presence in the media, but there is nothing inherently holding us back from sharing our history, other than ourselves. and making excuses or inventing our history is not going to solve the problem. Number 4. Using the Bible and religion as a tool to validate our history. This one in particular is one of the worst. The main reason being that the Bible and the Christian religion aren't even of African origin. Christianity began in the Middle East and spread throughout Europe and parts of North Africa and Ethiopia. Our ancestors do not hail from any of those regions. Most American blacks can trace their ancestry from Western and Central Africa, more specifically places like Nigeria, Ghana, Ivory Coast, Mali, Benin, and Congo. Before European contact, the overwhelming majority of people in these regions practiced their own traditional religions, such as Vodun and Orisha worship, and in some areas they were Islamic. However, none of them were Christian until Europeans arrived. The only part of Africa that was Christian by the time of European arrival was Ethiopia, which are not related to American blacks whatsoever. To make matters worse, Christianity was used as a tool to force slaves to think that they were being saved by white men and to make them into passive subordinates. Sadly, this lingers on to this day, and most blacks are Christian simply because they are raised to be God-fearing, and if they deviate away from this at all, they'll risk burning in hell. So they really believe what they believe simply out of fear of not believing it. On top of all that, Christianity is a religion. It's not a history book. Sure, the Bible contains some references to historical events, but it is not a textbook. It is a religious manuscript. If you are taking talking snakes and men who walk on water as fact, that's your own choice, and I respect your decision, but you can't expect to force these facts or opinions on anyone. Nor can you use this as a credible source of information to validate our history, especially considering it wasn't even written by Africans. Number 3. Acting as though Egypt and Nubia are the only parts of African history worth mentioning. People talk about Egypt a lot in my videos. When people want to reinforce that Africans do have history, regardless if they're black or white, Egypt is usually the only thing they mention. Just because Egypt is in Africa does not mean that it is part of our history, nor is it the only African history worth mentioning. You have to remember, guys, Africa is a huge continent with over 1 billion people. Looking at Egypt as a source of your history would be no different than a Portuguese man looking at Russian history as his own. It simply doesn't make any sense. It also serves to reinforce the false belief that Africa south of the Sahara has no history worth mentioning. There's this image that Africa outside of Egypt was a land of tribes and villages, when in reality, it was riddled with many civilizations, cities, and kingdoms. Which, by the way, if you would like to see a few examples of this, check out my Cities Built by Africans series, which I'll leave links to at the end of this video. Africa is the second largest landmass in the world, and it boggles my mind how people can be so fixated on Egypt and Nubia to a lesser extent, that they totally neglect the rest of the continent. You people need to wake up and do some research on the millions of square miles of land located south of Egypt, which was home to many other unique and impressive ancient civilizations. Number 2. Trying to steal the history of others. Simply put, stop trying to steal history from other people. That is one of the most disgusting things you can possibly do. One big gripe from these extreme Afrocentrists is that the white man stole our history. Well, you know what? You are not doing any better by trying to steal other people's history, are you? 2 wrongs don't make a right. There are many Afrocentric people out there who try to claim that Africans created every major civilization on Earth. Native Americans were copper-toned, straight, black-haired Mongoloids who inhabited the American continents. They grew and developed several different civilizations all throughout these lands, ranging from stone tool-using hunter-gatherer cultures to Bronze Age kingdoms who built cities of stone. They are distinct people with their own unique languages, cultures, traditions, and physical characteristics, none of which equate to Africans. I don't care what Ivan Sertima said in his book. Although interesting, he has no archaeological evidence to back his claims, just theories and observations. Statues and dolls that have curly hair do not automatically mean that the civilization has African origins. Then there are the dark-skinned peoples in other parts of the world, such as Australian Aboriginals and Polynesians, who people claim were of African descent. Newsflash, these features can all be explained by climate. It is common knowledge that hot and tropical areas with more sun generally have darker-skinned people, a genetic adaptation to protect their bodies from harmful UV rays. This is why Australia has the highest rate of skin cancer in the world. Its native people were dark-skinned, whereas its conquerors are fair-skinned. Genetically, culturally, and linguistically, natives of these regions are more similar to Southeast Asians than Africans. And just because their skin is the same color as ours does not mean we are the same people. If that logic made any sense, then that would mean that Latinos and Arabs are related just because they have similar features. In extreme cases, some Afrocentric people even try to take credit for every single major civilization, from Chinese to Romans, from Aztecs to Inca, from Egyptians to Persians. They try to claim that black people brought civilization to the entire world. If any of this stuff at all were true, from Native Americans being black to blacks being the fathers of all world civilization, the evidence should be slapping us in the face. Be proud of your own history and do some research before sweeping it under the rug and trying to claim someone else's as your own. Number 1. Fighting racism with racism. People who do any and everything they can to prove that white people are evil, primitive, barbaric, or uncivilized, and that we somehow saved them from their lives of savagery. Remember what I said about 2 wrongs don't make a right? Just like stealing history from others is wrong, racism is also wrong. Being a victim of it does not justify doing it to others. However, when it comes to these bigoted people, their primary agenda is to spread hatred towards whites and prove to the world that they are terrible human beings or monstrous entities. Sure, whites don't have the best track record when it comes to racism, genocide, or conquest, and in fact, they're probably responsible for the most mass deaths in all of human history. However, it wasn't their skin that did any of that. It was their civilizations and their cultures. It wasn't some collective 100% anti-colored, all-white effort that did it. Every human being is unique, and it's okay to hate the racists, but don't hate the race. If I meet a racist white guy, I have just as little respect for him as I would for you if you behave that way towards his race. I love all human beings on an individual basis, and until that individual loses my respect, he or she will continue to be loved by me regardless of race, gender, ethnicity, or nationality. If you believe that someone is inherently inferior to you in any way strictly due to their skin color, then you are an idiot, plain and simple. Oh, and I know this is supposed to be a top 5, but I'm going to add in another little bonus clip for you guys. Arguably one of the most confusing and infuriating things I've had to deal with since the birth of this channel is the people, not just black people, but whites too, but mostly black people, who are so fixated on the fact that I sound like a white boy that they completely ignore my content, completely ignore everything in the video, because all they can think about is the fact that I talked like a white person. So anyway, if you fit into this category at all, I got a few words for you. Hey, yo, yeah, YouTube, it's your boy Jabari here. I'm back at it again with another video for y'all. And No. See, that's what y'all don't get. That's not me. Just because I don't talk that way doesn't mean I'm not black. Okay? I talk the way I talk because speaking proper English is something that makes me feel comfortable. And what makes me feel comfortable is completely irrelevant to what you think I should sound like or what you think I should talk like. So here you go, idiots. Here I am, in the flesh. Are you satisfied? It's people like you who hold our race back, conforming to some stupid stereotypes and stupid social norms and ignoring your own individuality, walking, talking, and acting like idiots just to impress people and be accepted as a black person. What y'all need to do is wake up, grow up, and help your people instead of criticizing them for expressing their individuality. So there you have it, guys. It's me, the white boy, in the flesh. It's the first you've seen of me, but it certainly won't be the last because I plan on going live at least once a week. I will let you guys know and keep you updated whenever I do decide what schedule I'm going to have and what topics we will be discussing in my videos. Other than that, guys, as promised, I will leave the links to my Cities Built by Africans series at the end of this video, and I hope you enjoyed this one. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to click that like button, and if you haven't already, click that subscribe button.
We're definitely discussing overstressing as women and overthinking and stuff like that, and ways to manage stress and to keep yourself from overthinking. Me personally sharing some things with y'all. I do have some things that I'm gonna share with y'all later in the show that's gonna help to bring that down as well. And also, we were discussing Eva Marcel and Mike Sterling reconciling and things like that. Okay, and so listen, without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and get into the real wine here. And you know, I got my reading glasses because it's a lot. It's a lot we gotta go through. Okay. So not only do we have Dr. Umar Johnson, whose real name is Jermaine Shumaki, if that's how you say it. I don't know. Jermaine, Jeffrey, all hood niggas. I'm just letting you know, okay? And Jermaine has been standing on the side of the internet, begging and grifting and pandering to the Black community only, isolating the white community because he knows, especially if the white community were scammed like the Black community was, they would have had his ass locked up a long time ago. But for us, it take us 20, 30 years to catch a predator. You see how long it took us to catch R. Kelly? Here we go. Okay, we're in this again. And so he's been standing on the side of the road collecting coins, anywhere from $10 to $50 per Black family, to help open up a school that is still vacant till this day in 2025. Matter of fact, I believe it's being auctioned off if it hasn't been auctioned off right now. Okay, so let's get into the timeline of this because you guys know I like to go through it all. All right, and so he has been pandering and grifting to y'all about starting a school called the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. Okay, I had to think about that. He's said it so many times I can't even believe that I had to think about it, because he uses repetition. And when you repeat something, a lot of times, just like when they repeat a song on the radio that you hate and then you end up liking it, you will end up saying, yes, I like it. Yes, I'm going to donate. And that's exactly what he uses in order to get donations out of Black people who don't like to read or research. Okay? Because a person that likes to take their time to read and research and not just listen to someone who is very charismatic and very stern with their words and extremely articulate would literally pull it back, shave all the hair off on his face, okay? Give him a haircut and you'll really see Jermaine for who the fuck he is, okay? Now, the whole scheme has been going down for 15 years. This, in my opinion, is the longest running fundraising schemes ever in history, and it's still going on to this day because he is still begging for money to help y'all to save a school that never opened. Never opened. Now, he started this scheme in 2010, all right, with this whole dream. And I remember Dr. Umar was so flexing with his tongue. He had my cousin calling me, have you heard Dr. Umar? He the truth. He the truth. And I never got it. I'm like, why y'all? They ain't no different than fucking Brother Polite. And you know what Brother Polite is, right? In jail, registered as a sex offender. Didn't didn't live by anything that he told y'all to motherfucking live by. Remember, do as I say, not as I motherfucking do. And he was doing his girlfriend's children. Now back to Dr. Umar, okay? Because he ain't doing his children, but he definitely doing the hoes on the road that he meets, okay? That fall for these elaborate schemes and the way he articulates words and says he's gonna help their sons. And I have yet to find a Black boy that he's helped, including his motherfucking self, because the way that his ex-girlfriend Siobhan came out here and said he was living because he's still living with his mama, and that's a boy mentality. And you can say, oh, it's not, but when you're living off of your mother's welfare, okay, Medicaid and all that stuff and food stuff to take care of yourself, you're a boy. And he needs to go to his own school that he's never gonna motherfucking open, okay? Hopefully he'll be going to school in prison here soon. When I'm done with this video, and I don't give a damn what none of y'all got to say at all. Now, let me go ahead and pull up these receipts real quick, okay? Now, according to IRS Form 990, the filings reveal disturbing financial irregularities, okay, with Jermaine Shumak. That's how.
All right, so basically she's going to break down the IRS stuff. I haven't watched this yet, But I want to stop it for a minute to say that what she's reading is directly from the IRS. And of course, you know, she was sued by Cardi B for being gossiping and putting out wrong information. So I would take what she's saying extremely serious.
He files it. He doesn't file it under Dr. Umar as Jermaine, okay? Now, the nonprofit shows assets of $634,436 as of 2024. This is what he's saying that he raised. This is what he reported. Okay, now you know he go begging inside of that car without a haircut every other day or on the side of the building in which he lives in, because they say his house is right there on a row house in Philadelphia somewhere. Okay, and his mama inside, and she ain't had a diaper change in months. Okay, this is according to the girlfriend. Shout out to the mother, and I hope the family can get that woman away, because he's really giving me Jaguar right and how she was taking care of her motherfucking mother. Okay, collecting the check but wouldn't feed her, change her, or nothing. Remember that? And that old lady died in agony. Now, according to the IRS filings, this is inconsistent reporting of contributions, okay? Now, while official filings show that only $321,408 in total contributions over the last 5 years, evidence suggests Johnson raised significantly more through other channels, okay? Meaning books and all of that. He's reported GoFundMe campaigns, all right, that he's been suspended from through 2014 and 2015 of over $400,000 raised before the account suspension. That's a lot of money for GoFundMe, okay? PayPal donations, approximately $125,000 documented. Speaking fees and direct donations, estimated $750,000. This man raised all this money and ain't got a haircut yet. Total estimated funds, 1.6 to 2 million that they can account for, and this is with them digging. They've been on his ass, okay? And we're going to talk about how much they've been on his ass, and that's the reason why that damn school is on the auction block right now, vacant school that never opened. And he promised to open it in 2013 and kept pushing back the opening date and blamed us, well, not me, y'all, if y'all donated, as to why it can't open, because black people can't stick together, okay? Even though he was running it like a mom and pop shop, because I'm gonna show y'all, I'm gonna give y'all some other people that have done similar things like this in the past, and they are still successful to this day, black people per se. The facade is crumbling. The whole facade. Anything that this man has talked about on the internet, y'all took as gold. I literally laugh at my cousin now. I say, you remind me of a bitch, you know, first time nigga in jail, and you believe the nigga that befriends you the first day, and that's the one that's raping you. That's exactly the type of energy that Jermaine gives me. Period. You believe everything that he says because he's nice to you, and then the whole time he has a plan to bring you over and fuck you in your ass. Now that the facade is just out there and the cape the face has been revealed as to who Dr. Umar is, I'm gonna stop saying Dr. Umar. His real name is Jermaine, okay? He had to create a whole pseudo personality to get y'all believe that he was actually smarter than he really is. And I gotta give him credit because he's smart. I mean, the man has raised millions of dollars without an actual job, without an actual degree. Because remember, they came after him in 2018 in Pennsylvania, the psychology board, because he was saying that not only was he related to Frederick Douglass, and that's the reason why he wanted to start a school behind him to help underprivileged black boys and everything like that. But they also said that he didn't have a license to practice psychology, but he said that he had a certificate in psychology, just like I have a certificate in journalism. But does that make me a journalist? Come on now. Come on. Stop the cap. Stop the motherfucking cap. Now, the facade, like I said, the whole thing is coming down because now the building faces auction. So yes, he has a building because he had to prove to y'all that yes, he was doing something with the money, but it was a vacant building. It was sort of like a business being there. Coach Stormy's ex-boyfriend was accused of using a company called BK Lobster and a franchise name to sell people franchises. And so he would have a building that was there, but then when people came to give them money to start a franchise, he he wouldn't build them out a franchise. It was a whole scheme, according to his ex-wife, that he did using smoothie shops and franchises. This is what the school is. I got the school, y'all. Now I need the money. Keep giving me the money. It costs money to run this, and so y'all need to keep donating. If this is gonna work, I need electricians to work for free because it's a nonprofit. I need carpenters to work for free. I need people to donate free desks and everything. I mean, y'all was supposed to run the whole school, and the only person that was gonna profit was him. But speaking to his ex-girlfriend, a few other women,
hey, whether we like the information or not she's giving, she's gonna give you the real facts. This is why I'm playing it. This is why I'm not even here for no gossip or nothing. I just want to hear what's really going on behind the scenes. Because sometimes when you listen to these YouTubers, they don't have the facts. JT Pocket Watcher will have the facts, and also people. But let's this is not gossip though. This is real reality, because black folks are donating for a school. It's a reality. It's not gossip.
they said that Dr. Umar ain't never had no interest in no black boys at all. The only thing he had interest in is putting kids in their vaginas when he meets them on the road after these shows. Okay, so he uses these shows to prey on women. Okay, and we're going to talk about the conscious stripper that exposed him back in 2015 in just a second. But basically, the FDMG Academy bank accounts were frozen. Okay, he alleged there was hacking attempts. However, there was no hacking attempts. He owed the IRS motherfucking money. Not only did he owe the IRS motherfucking money, he owed for unpaid vacant property registration fees $15,000, 4 years delinquent. So what was he doing with all the money that he was asking y'all for? Water and sewage charges, $1,800. He ain't paid no water bill. Civil penalties and fees, $456. Total debt, $76,776.44 is what he's owed, including back taxes. And so guess what? They placed liens on the property years ago, back in 2020, okay? And they still haven't gotten their money yet. But yet he's begging to y'all every day, making it seem like it's urgent that y'all give it to him using tactics such as the repetitiveness. Like I said, the repetitive psychology, when you repeat something several times, you guys just be like, oh, I give up. Emotional manipulation, basically pulling at y'all heartstrings and things like that, saying that you need to do it now. That's the urgency behind it. Also, he blame shifts whenever y'all ask, and he always says, oh, it's PayPal, oh, it's this, it's the brother down the street, as the why I ain't got to do it. Or he does what we call moving the goalpost. So basically every time he says he's going to do something, he just pushes out the date longer and longer, and the scheme has been pushed from 2010 all the way up to 2025, and now everything that y'all have donated to him to trick off with on the road and leave women pregnant with babies and unpaid child support, but is yet out here trying to preach to y'all and tell y'all how important y'all need to be in y'all children's lives, and allow him to teach your children at the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. Now, here's the thing. I'm not saying his vision wasn't ethical. It's totally ethical. And a lot of people believed in it, because others such as, now don't get me wrong, because I don't know their names or anything like that. I don't know these people, but I do know that they have successfully built schools that are similar to what Dr. Umar tried to do. For instance, like Jeffrey Canada. All right. He has the Harlem Children's Zone Promise Academy in New York. He built a cradle to college pipeline. These are notes. Okay. Cradle to college pipeline with integrated social sciences and 2 charter schools, widely documented for improved outcomes and replication lessons. Okay. Also, Dr. Howard Fuller, Milwaukee education reform leader, formerly CEO of Milwaukee Public Schools, founder Dr. Howard Fuller Collegiate Academy, longtime advocate who helped create and sustain high-performing options for Black students with strong governments. Hold on. Let me start this over. I'm not saying.
And shout out to my brother, brother Law. I gotta give him a little shout out for his comment, Cause he definitely on point with that one. Let me give him some applause. Hold on a second. Let me give him some applause for that. Give him some more applause. But it's facts. It's facts. We forgive and forget. That's all we do. But go ahead, Tasha K. Break it down.
That what Dr. Umar Johnson wasn't legitimate. It was legitimate, but I feel like the fame and things got to his head, and that's why he's starring in movies, playing himself, doing the exact things that he does to women on the road and leaves them with babies, okay? Because we've interviewed more than one woman, okay? And there have been more than one woman that have come out over the years to tell you the type of nigga that he really is, okay? And what I know that black women love is a real articulate nigga that don't work. They just talk good and fuck good. Okay. Now, there have been other black scholars that have done this in the past and that are successful today. Like, let me get my reading glasses. Jeffrey Canada, who has a school in Harlem. Dr. Howard Fuller, who has a school in Milwaukee. Okay. Matter of fact, go back to Jeffrey Canada. He got a couple schools. Okay. Charter schools. And also Kip. Okay, it's called Knowledge is Power Program, and it has co-leaders in various cities, numerous, and they are numerous black leaders. Okay, now I'm reading all this because I need to make sure that I'm backing this up to let y'all know that I don't want y'all to not donate when legitimate people come to y'all asking for funds to help, but they do it in a legal way, which means having a board, which means having a LLC, reporting taxes, putting people in place that can do it, getting government grants. He said he didn't want the government involved because he didn't want to answer to the government and things like that, but you have to. And when you have a charter school, you get a little bit more leniency. But instead, he pocketed all the money and can't manage the school as well as his own household. And that's the reason why, according to his ex-girlfriend, Chiffon, who he called Fishy Coochie, is living off of his mother's welfare benefits. And he's living off of y'all PayPal donations because y'all can no longer donate money because all his motherfucking accounts are frozen. What I'm saying is that this could have been a really big thing had he would have not tried to make himself big like Diddy, all up in the video, all doing this. And now look at Diddy now, where he's at, fighting for his life, because instead of doing the right motherfucking thing, he's doing all the wrong things behind the scenes. Same shit, thinking with your dick and your nappy ass hair. I'm surprised y'all ain't stopped the shenanigans when the conscious stripper came out and told y'all that she had a son and she had met Dr. Umar on the road back in 2015. And instead of him helping her son, he helped her come. Then you got him co-signing Sukiyana because he loves hoes. Then he playing himself in movies, putting Medea-like women on dresses and stuff like that. And then when you see the women come out to expose him, y'all don't believe that there's no way that Dr. Umar will fuck these ladies. Dr. Umar will fuck anything, in my opinion, with a hoe, including a motherfucking nigga. And he's been doing that for years. Whether you want to say it's physical fucking, but fucking somebody out of their money is the same issue. Same goddamn thing. In the white community, this would be an issue of wire fraud, which I feel they're going to come back and tap Dr. Umar Johnson here soon for this. And he's going to have a hard time defending all this because everything that he did was digital. Dumbass. They're going to be able to track every donation, track every fucking tax report filing that you did. You're going to have to justify all the motherfucking money you've made. And then he's going to be out here trying to ask y'all for donations to help him fight a case because they're trying to take another black man down like they did Diddy. And the whole time it was their dick and their greed that took him down. But like I said, had he would have been white doing this, his ass would have been in jail a long time ago. But how long is it going to take y'all for y'all to wake up and see what this actually is? Did it have to take his daughter coming out here to tell y'all that he was a deadbeat and didn't take care of his kids, and then he blamed his vegan whole baby mama for having the baby and putting him on child support? Or the Fishy Coochie ex-girlfriend who he asked to be his wife to take care of his mother because he needed a caretaker because he needed to continue to get her benefits? That's how he was able to eat. And according to her, he eats cereal and peanut butter and jelly sandwiches all day. travels all the time to every motherfucking city by using his power and influence and all these interviews that he's doing to sell books and sell y'all hope, but I ain't yet to help one black boy yet. And you mean to tell me this is the man that y'all wanted to donate money to? After everything that I fucking described in this video, verbatim, this is the black man that y'all wanted to educate y'all black sons? Now I gotta go. Now listen, before I go, all right, we have a fan Q&A, all right, and then I'm gonna tell y'all what I use to help myself not stress, okay? No matter how thick things get, my ass is calm. My blood pressure don't even rise no more. My heart rate don't even increase no more. I got to make it increase by doing sprints and things like that. I'm always relaxed. I'm not clenching my teeth, all right? We got a fan Q&A, all right? Because I always utilize this this time to, you know, answer a question from one of our winos. I don't like to say fans, winos, okay? And so let me go ahead and pull out this question here. If you want your question read on the channel, just please.
That was a good check for the community, man. But listen, man, my brother Captain Tazaryach was out on the streets yesterday, man. Listen, man. He never failed for content. I tell you that. Check this out right here real quick.
He's got a good lawyer. He's got a good lawyer. He's got a good lawyer. That's a white man. I don't need a fucking lawyer. I need me. You asked to consider true nature of a white man. I thought we had freedom of speech. I thought I could say what I want to say. Bow down to you, but you will bow down to us. I thought you was going to do something when you came back. Then you say, then do something. We are not Christian. We are not Christian. No, we're not. What we made you do, you wasted all your time to come back to talk to black men. Now, what you going to do? Do something if you're going to do it. You're not. Filming with a camera ain't doing nothing. If you're going to do something, you'd have done it. This almost sound like cross the line a little bit. Almost sound like cross the line a little bit. If you want to cross the line, you would have crossed it, right? What we finding out is fake Africans and white men won't do nothing to real black men. That's right. You'll do absolutely. All you doing is talking. Make me. You can't make me. That's right. And you know what's crazy? We ain't talked about women. We talked about nasty homosexual white men. And that's what you are. You're the sexual deviant. You're the predator. You're the murderer that took away my father's identity, took away my mother's identity, and we call you out on it every day, and you won't do nothing about it. One West, y'all. I'm Shine Cell, man. And let me tell you something. We different over here.
He's the last man standing, boy. I tell you. Cap, you're a piece of work, bro. I tell you, man. I tell you. That's a good job you did, though. Another good job he did the other day that I forgot to play was this video he made with the Christian guy. I don't know where the video is at. I need that video. The video is the Christian guy outside, and he had to break down to him. Damn, where the video at? I think it's somewhere out. Where you at? Oh, here you go, right here. This was a nice video right here.
There's no such thing. I do not keep 613 laws.
Exactly.
No, wait.
If you guys, so you guys keep the whole Old Testament. Good. So, but the Old Testament talks about how you have to keep the laws. It was, I believe, 619 laws.
There's no such thing as 613 laws.
It's when you go into Leviticus, it lists all the laws.
No such thing. I do not keep 613 laws.
Exactly.
No, wait. I'm gonna tell you why.
Okay.
The laws of a woman being pregnant, does that apply to you?
No.
We just took away laws.
Right.
The laws of a woman on a menstrual cycle, did that apply to you?
No.
Does laws of agriculture, you a farmer?
I'm not.
Does laws of agriculture apply to you?
No.
So there's no such thing as a six. You know what the laws are for?
What are they
the
for?
laws of what applies to you. So there's moral laws like adultery, stealing,
Right.
unaliving. Then there's merchant laws, like if I lend money.
Yeah.
Then there's agriculture laws. If I have my farm on this year, I just give it out free. So the laws are made for what applies to you. It's not for somebody to count the laws and say, we got to keep 613 laws.
Sure.
That's not what the law is about. But
Right.
you're changing the subject. You're supposed to be showing me where the promise is
That's
for
right.
anybody, because in that verse when it says there's neither Jew nor Greek, you notice it says there's neither male nor female.
Right.
The biggest problem Israel has is respect of persons. That's what that's talking about.
Okay.
So you can have a Jew that's an actual Jew circumcised on the 8th day. And then you can have an Israelite that would be Hellenized. Because you know it was illegal to be a Jew. You know, the Romans made a decree in 2 Maccabees 6:6. You couldn't keep the Sabbath day. You couldn't profess to be a Jew. You couldn't do none of that. So you could be in Italy. You could be in Rome. Paul was a Roman, right?
He was.
But he was an Israelite.
It was like
Even though he
one of
was a
Benjamin,
Roman.
yeah.
So that Galatians 3:28 is about respect of person. That's why verse 29 says, according to the promise. So if there's any confusion to who Paul is talking about, because the same writer of Galatians is the same writer of Romans.
Yeah.
So if he said Israelites pertain to adoption in Rome, who's the promise for in Galatia?
So question for you real quick.
Who's the promise for in Galatia?
I'm going to still keep my opinion, and I'm going to keep
So you're saying Paul's schizophrenic?
There you go.
No.
Bring it out.
Wait,
All right.
listen.
Bring it out.
Hey, listen. I'm gonna still stick on that. I'm gonna stand because yes, no, okay, it says it right. But you got, like I said, you understand that literally the Paul talks about it does not matter about nations. It doesn't. God's done away. That's respect of persons because you're talking about a
What is
nation.
respect of
Because you're literally choosing a favorite nation, and
Doesn't
Paul,
God have a favorite?
God's no. Actually, no. To be honest, because God says I'm not a respected persons either. So therefore,
Wait, say that one more time.
God says out His own mouth, the Most High, the Almighty, said, "I am neither respected persons. I am not respected persons."
I said, does God have a favorite?
A favorite what? You talking about nation?
Yeah.
He has a chosen people, but
What does it mean to be chosen?
Well, okay, look.
Wait.
Okay, no. I'm gonna give you an example.
6.
Okay, that one kind of white lady over there, right? She can be chosen by God.
Who?
All of them ladies over there. That's
Not
not
if they white.
right.
Not if they white.
What are they? What are they then? Are they?
No, I said not. I don't know what they are.
No, I'm
I
talking
said
about-
not if they white.
So they're not chosen. They're not God's
Yeah,
favorite.
if you white, African, Chinese, Arab, you're not chosen by God.
But we're all mixed. Remember that we came
Who's
over.
all mixed?
Everybody.
What does that even mean, mixed? Tell me
We
what
all
that
have
means.
different.
Remember we talk about the Bible, right?
Yeah. So we all.
Does the Bible deal with mixes?
Yes, Judah himself had some Tamar. Tamar was not Tamar
But what are his children called? Are they called Judites or they called Tamars?
called Judah.
Why?
They come from the tribe of Judah.
Why?
Because it goes through the male's blood.
Thank you. But there ain't no mixing.
But it's still
wait.
It's still mixing because of the mother and the father. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. When it comes to your nation, you are what your father is.
Right.
Even DNA will tell you that.
Right.
In DNA, you get the same 23 chromosomes from both your mother and father.
Yeah.
But the part that makes up who you are ethnically comes from your father. That's if you look at the
You get 23 from the dad, 23 from the mom. So that's pretty much what it is. Not the same chromosomes. So you have the mtDNA and you have the Y-DNA. All right. Captain a little bit off, but it is what it is.
the sperm.
Yeah.
The sperm looks like a spinal cord with the brain attached to it.
For sure.
Who owns that bitch? We do. All we doing is putting that in the woman, and then she's adding her DNA to our DNA.
Adding.
That's why I said they got the same chromosomes. I'm only talking about what makes you who you are.
Okay.
According to your ethnicity, that's what makes you. That's why Joseph produces Ephraim and Manasseh.
Yes.
Nobody calls his children Egyptian.
That's true.
They're Israelites.
Right.
Because you are what your father is. That's the most important thing that you could ever understand. You got Deuteronomy 7:6?
Yes, I do. Deuteronomy 7:6. For thou art an holy people.
You know the word holy mean?
I do.
What?
Set apart.
So now we are what?
Hey, holy people.
So we are set apart people.
Yeah.
Unto the Most High, thy power.
Unto who?
The Most High.
So is anybody else set to the Most High?
And that's no, they're not. But like I said, that's the old covenant. You so you're going back to the old covenant.
But so we have a new covenant where somebody is set next by nation. Not where when you say like Greek and strangers and Gentiles, you know Gentile just means nation.
Yeah.
That's what the word means.
So therefore,
is Israel a Gentile?
There's no differentiation of
Is Israel a Gentile?
Is Israel a Gentile? No.
How can they not when Israel means, when nation means Gentile? Gentile and nation is the same word in the Greek and Hebrew. In the Hebrew is goyim, and the Greek is ethnos.
Right.
So when you see Gentile or nation, it's the no, we don't need it just yet. When you see Gentile or nation, it's the same word in the New Testament, ethnos. So Israel is an ethnos.
Yeah.
So you can't use Gentile as the litmus test for someone in the New Testament being joined. So can you show me where they join?
Where they join?
I mean, if you can't, it's all right.
You know, I'm gonna
It's all love, man.
It's not a competition, though, my brother.
It is a competition. That's the problem with Christians.
Right.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you what.
Are you the captain?
Are you
the captain?
Yeah.
Respect, man.
I'm gonna give you something. I'm gonna give you a tip, right? This is a tip.
All right,
just
I'm gonna
as
get to that.
Okay.
I'm listening to
Christians think everybody can get along.
Right.
Especially black Christians. Do white Christians believe everybody can get along?
Nope.
Or do white Christians enslave everybody and then we can get along?
Right.
So that's certain. Let's
get into that. No.
We can get into that. Okay.
White Jesus was delivered to us, right?
Yes, but that's wrong. We know.
Listen to me. Is that in the Bible?
No.
So the very Christianity that you follow came by somebody that lied on the Bible.
For sure, yes.
And if they lied about the color of Christ,
right?
If they lied about how we're supposed to worship Christ,
right?
Why would you ever believe anything they taught you?
Because I have the Holy Spirit, and I can.
The Holy Spirit wouldn't make you join a white man.
Right. That's right.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. Your brother. The Holy Spirit
is my brother. It doesn't matter about white color. That's my brother. He's a believer.
It does. To God it does. Are you a white man?
Yeah.
And he's not your brother.
He's my brother.
He could never be your brother.
Because of the skin tone?
Because his daddy is.
Yo, this is where Captain was like cooking. Like he was like Chef Tazaryach right here. He was Chef Tazaryach. This is like his MVP moment, man. This boy was going in. Check him out.
God it does. To God it does. Are you a white man?
Yeah.
Then he's not your brother.
He's my brother.
He could never be your brother.
Because of the skin tone?
Because his daddy is a different tribe than you. I'm not, listen, the term white, I'll give you another one. Who taught us white and black?
Society, yes.
No, they did not. You got to put ownership. This is a problem with Christians, black Christians. White man taught us white and black. Before we got to America, who taught us white and black? Nobody. You was a tribe. Even when we was Israelites in Africa, you was a tribe. Your tribe got taken away from you by his ancestors. How the fuck could he be your brother?
Right.
How could he?
Right.
When he's benefiting off of what his ancestors did to your ancestors. He on the top, you on the bottom. But you're gonna follow the religion that not you. You're just a prop right now. If God was all love, where was the love when his people wasn't enslaving us?
But you know what we did to get enslaved?
We disobeyed God. That's a don't. Now you're doing some. What's not Uncle Tom because he wasn't a sellout. Give me Sambo. You being a Sambo right now.
Sambo.
Because this what black men do. When a black man calls white people out for their crimes, you try to point out to something we did.
Right.
We're not talking. If we was talking about our crimes, let me just finish.
Okay.
I have no problem talking about what black people did. That ain't what I'm talking about right now, though. I'm talking about what white people did, and let them own up. Like you want me to own up right now? Let them own up. You believe in Christianity because the white man stripped us of our identity, our culture, our language, and then gave us some white Jesus. Taught us if we were good slaves, we would die and go to heaven. While he established his heaven on earth.
Right.
And that's what you telling me is the God we should serve?
No.
Meanwhile, if you touch a white man, do they not get vengeance?
They do.
Right.
Do they not go kill people?
They do.
When 9/11 fell, what is it, 3,000 people in 9/11?
Right.
3,000 people fell in 9/11. They slaughtered millions of innocent people, and white people didn't bat an eye.
Right.
Because they get vengeance. What they teach us to be? Docile.
Yeah.
They teach us to do nothing. So how could you ever follow that God?
Yeah. So
Break it down. Tell me how you can follow that God.
So with that, right?
That God, not the God of the Bible.
Right.
That God that the white man.
See, I don't
taught you.
follow that God. That God
Yes, you
that's
do.
weak. That God, no, don't. That Jesus that's weak. That Jesus that's a white man that with all that blonde hair. I don't rock with that.
But you weak as shit right now
How so?
because you with him.
So I'm weak because I'm with him.
Yes.
So he makes me weak
Yes.
because of what his ancestors did.
Yes. Because of what they put in your mental.
Okay.
In your mental, you're fighting me. God chose the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, told us that we was above all people, and you're fighting so that he can be a part of that people. That's how you're
Right. First of all, you said Native Americans and Hispanics. That is not true.
How?
That is
So they not God's people, but the white man is
no.
God's people. Y'all see that?
You talking about-
It would have been better if he would have said, you see that? He said, that is not true.
You're missing my words. I like that though. You're taking my words.
But that is not true.
That's
what you said.
You're not right. So you talking about them being the chosen people, right?
Yeah.
They're not.
But he's chosen.
No, everybody's chosen.
No.
You talking about Israelites? You talking about Israelites? Then it's only that tribe of Judah and the Israelites that are.
Well, it's 12 tribes.
12 tribes.
So you got Judah, Benjamin, Levi,
Exactly.
Simeon, and a lot of tribes.
You got all of those.
So like my brother right here is from Ephraim.
How so? How do you know
Because
he's from
him?
How do you know he's from Ephraim?
Because, okay, now here's where it will require some learning.
Okay.
So what we did in ISUPK, we went and actually studied and did research. When it comes to who the children of Israel are, you can find more information on the Latinos being Israelites in North, Central, and South America through artifacts, culture, the language they spoke over here than you can black people.
Right.
So I don't know why black people, well, I do know why black people
Why?
hate Hispanics.
I don't hate them, but
Because the white man hate Hispanics.
Right.
That's the only reason. That's the only reason. You can't give me no reason to dislike Hispanics.
not at all. I like it. I like
But
no, it's respect, right? But I just say, as far as for me, right, what I know and what I've studied in my life, yes, I do believe that.
Where you from?
I'm from Ohio.
Where you live at though?
Ohio.
You live in
Yeah,
Ohio?
yeah.
Make sure before you go, I give you the number for the captain that's in Ohio, and you go get your ass in class.
I'm good because
And
I don't
even
believe
if
in
you
it.
disagree, right? Even if you disagree, you should at least learn what we're teaching.
Right.
And then if you, after you learn what we're teaching, you can at least say, Cap, I tried it, I still don't believe it. But don't just say I don't want to learn. Like I grew up Christian. My grandfather was a pastor.
Yeah,
I know that Bible in and out from a Christian eye.
Okay.
And it was only when I learned it from it being me that I was learning the truth. The word nigger, for example, is where?
We're talking about it. What are you
In
talking
the
about?
Bible. Acts 13:1.
Oh, you're talking about
They
Barnabas?
called
Yeah, I know.
So if they called the apostles niggas, which means black, right?
Exactly.
People, like nigga has a derogatory term today.
For sure.
But nigga is from the Latin word niger, which just means black.
Yeah,
So if they call the Israelites black in the Bible, why are we believing that the Jewish man is an Israelite?
But I said, well, I don't believe that though. As me,
Who do you believe are the Israelites?
Yeah, you want to do. I know what you about to do. I know what you about to do. I know what you about to do. I just don't believe that.
Who do you
It
believe
doesn't
the
matter. But
Israelites are?
I don't believe that. It doesn't matter who I believe is the Israelites. It doesn't matter about
Christ
what I-
said, he that believeth on me, as the scriptures have said, out of his belly shall flow. That's what I'm getting to. That's what I'm getting to. The Bible says, he that believeth on me, as the scriptures have said, out of his belly shall flow living waters.
Agree.
Christ was only for Israel, right?
At that point in time, but he had to learn. He had to
He
learn.
had to learn what?
Okay, so we want to
He
go.
said he had to learn. The nigga already knew.
But
But before we go further, you got to take a position on who the children of Israel are.
So, because I know you're going to misconstrue my words. So
I ain't going to say nothing till you're done. I'm going to turn my back. Go ahead, say it. No, I ain't going to say nothing. Go ahead, say it.
No, look, the children of Israel is the so-called black people.
So you believe we the black people?
I believe that, but that doesn't mean that we. That doesn't mean that we are one better.
Well, give him a hand though. I thought. Listen, he did take a position. Y'all clap for him. It's okay. Clap for the brother. He got one answer right. At least you said they the black people. You didn't say that they the white people.
No.
But now, who taught us that they weren't black?
Who taught us that we weren't black? Who taught us that we weren't who
said,
we are?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if you want to go to that, you can talk about the elites and all that stuff like that.
Nah, well, you would say the slave master, the conquistadors,
all of them,
the Spaniards, Columbus, all of them.
Agreed.
So shouldn't we separate from their way of teaching?
From those people, yeah, but you gotta understand, people are not their answer. Okay, I'll put like.
So does the earth teach what you teach? Does the earth teach that Israel are black people?
I would be like, I don't know.
Come on, man.
Does the earth teach that we're?
When I say the earth, meaning you go to any Christian, if you go to any Christian church, if you go to Europe, if you go anywhere, and they say Israelites, do they say that they're us?
No.
Or do they say that they're white people?
They say
right?
they're Jewish. Yeah.
So how could we ever learn from them?
We can't. But that's how you gotta do your own research.
No, you don't. Hebrews 5:12 says, before you can be taught, before you can teach, you must first be taught. And so you have to be taught before you can actually go out and teach, because if you hold on to anything that the oppressor gave you, it's going to spoil you. Like even Christ said, no man put new wine into old bottles. You got to first pour all that information out. So what age did you realize the Israelites was black?
When I was like 14, 15.
Have you poured all the Christianity out since 14?
See, I don't believe in relationship. It's not about religion.
I'm just asking if you poured out all the information. So be honest.
So all the information, I took out what I thought I knew back then. So
yeah,
you
said
answer the question. Yes.
No, you just said you took out what you thought.
Yeah, what I thought
that means you left some in. When Christ said you, yes, it does. If I took out what I thought, that means I didn't take out what I felt I needed.
Let me ask you a question, right? You say you grew up in a Christian household, right?
Yep, my grandfather was a pastor.
Respect, okay. So how long did you be like that until you changed?
I was 31.
So all of that time, right? All of 30-something, 31 years, all of that, right?
Right.
Combined. You telling me that you don't have nothing instilled in you of so-called Christianity?
Nope. Nothing. Everything that the Christian church is trash. Sunday worship, baptism, Easter, Christmas,
baptism? What's wrong with baptism?
All right. Well, we do Christ's baptism, not John's. But in the church, they teach you got to get dunked in physical water. That's John's baptism. Christ said he baptized with the fire.
Yeah,
right.
Ghost of fire.
So we don't do that baptism.
Yeah.
But the church do John. So there's nothing that the Christian church does that's correct.
Nothing.
Zero. They go to church on Sunday. That's we all worship.
Yes.
Christmas, Easter,
all that
Jesus'
pagan.
birthday, December 25th.
Yeah.
His death is on the same day you laying eggs. A rabbit laying eggs. You go
that's pagan. So that's paganism, yes. That's all about the
Roman
Catholic
in the church. But so I poured all of that out.
Yeah.
Speaking in tongues. They mean that's coming up, all that
okay.
bullshit.
So what's the
language? Yeah, you guys,
do you know where Christianity derived from?
100%.
Where?
So the true of it is in Africa. The true of it is Africa.
The what?
The origin of it is in Africa.
Yeah. You know Christianity was the first.
Y'all can get some of y'all stop.
So that's Catholicism. They took over that.
Hello everyone, it's Jabbar here. Today's video is a patron request. If you would like to make a video request of your own, you can do so by becoming a patron. The link to this can be found below. Hope you guys are ready for the most toxic comment section that my YouTube channel has ever seen, because today we're going to be talking about the Moors. Yep, I know. I told you. So, who exactly were the Moors? Were they a brilliant group of individuals who came from North Africa and civilized the barbaric Europeans who were inhabiting the place during the Dark Ages? Or were they themselves barbarians who did nothing more than spread violence and chaos? Which one of these popularly portrayed images of the Moor holds any truth or merit? What was their ethnic identity? Yep, see, told you, comments are gonna get toxic. But seriously though, there seems to be an ongoing debate as to how strong their impact was on Europe prior to Reconquista, as well as a strong emphasis on their blackness within the Afrocentric community. So let's just start off simple with the origin of the Moor. The word Moor has its origins in the Latin word Maurus, and was originally the name given to the inhabitants of the southern Roman province of Mauritania. Later on, the word would evolve into Moor in English and other European languages to denote Islamic peoples of North Africa, whom are typically of Arabic or Berber lineage. With that said, Moors don't belong to any one particular group, as Berbers are a diverse people who inhabit vast expanses of land, in an area larger than the contiguous United States, speak a multitude of languages, and come in all different colors of the rainbow. Not like the literal colors of the rainbow, but you get what I mean. This is due to thousands of years of trade, conquest, and migration through the region, from Europe, Asia, and Africa. This should be apparent in a simple Google search of Berbers, which will bring you images of people of Arabesque phenotypes, as well as people who are indistinguishable from Europeans, Sub-Saharan Africans, and everything in between. In a manner no different than Googling Americans and finding people of all different races and ethnicities. This is not only evident in today's Northern African populations, but also in depictions of them by European artists from ancient and medieval times. Perhaps the most famous Black Moor of Europe and most widely depicted in their artwork is Saint Maurice, a Roman soldier of Egyptian origin who was the patron saint of the Vatican's Swiss Guard.
I knew that the Egyptians was black. See, that's proof right there.
No, I'm not saying that all Egyptians were black, but I'm saying that you are just as likely to find black Egyptians within that region, or even white ones, for the same reason specified previously when I described Berbers. Anyway, born sometime in the 3rd century CE, he gained sainthood by refusing to comply with orders from Roman Emperor Maximian to sacrifice Christian rebels from the Gaulish army to Roman gods. As a result of this, he and his Theban legion were executed in the year 286 CE. Further evidence of his Moorish identity can be found not only in his obvious appearance or Egyptian origin, but his name itself, as the name Maurice is derived from the Latin Moris, which I covered earlier in the video, which of course later evolved into the word Moor. But one detail I didn't mention was that the word Moor literally translates to dark.
Okay, so like I was saying, they was black.
Again, no. This is not to say that all Moors were black in the same sense as Sub-Saharan Africans. It was likely to denote the fact that the peoples of North Africa were typically darker than the average fair-skinned European, even those that we would classify today as having a medium brown skin tone. However, Saint Maurice was undeniably black, even in our modern-day classifications of race, and was one of many types of North African peoples who would be classified as Moors by Europeans. Whoever sculpted this should be fired, by the way. So, as the Western Roman Empire fell into decline between the years of 500 and 1000 CE, Europe fell into what is known today as the Dark Ages. A regression in European art, architecture, and overall quality of life, with most of its population being illiterate, as the only value placed in literacy was among nobles and monks for religious purposes only. Former cities and holdings of Rome fell into a state of chaos, disarray, and poverty. Rome's southern provinces, however, remained largely intact and even thrived, as this period coincided with the birth of Islam. Islamic peoples retained many of the developments of the Roman Empire from former Roman cities that they had conquered, and even built upon them through trade and warfare, spreading their religion and developments through all lands that they had occupied. Within a century, they had conquered virtually all cities of the Maghreb through a chain reaction of movements, perhaps most famous of these being the Almoravid dynasty. The Almoravids would move into the devolved Visigothic kingdom of Spain in 1086, conquering virtually all of the Iberian Peninsula by force, before being stopped in their tracks by the Franks. And just to be clear, the Almoravids were not the first Muslims to invade Spain, as the region had already been conquered by the Umayyad dynasty 375 years prior in 711 CE. For the next 700 years, a series of Islamic states reigned over the region, which the Arabs called Al-Andalus, or Land of the Vandals, a name which would later become corrupted to Andalusia by the Spanish. These Islamic strangers had a strong impact on European art, architecture, and science, bringing new crops such as oranges, rice, avocados, and bananas, while also introducing new or forgotten technologies such as water wheels. 10th century Arabic writers of the time described the indigenous Iberian peoples as living in wooden hovels as they trod upon straw, while the Moorish Cordova Caliphate was described as living in a fortified town surrounded by massive stone walls and very fine streets. Many of the structures from the Moors can still be viewed to present day. These writers also claim that the only parts of the European continent that didn't live in barbaric ignorance or savage manners were the regions where remnants of the Roman Empire were still able to maintain some trace of the Roman influence, and that Moorish cities of Cordova were famously regarded for having polished manners, superior intelligence, exquisite taste in their meals, dress, and their horses. They were also regarded for their remarkable attention to astronomy, chemistry, medicine, and geography. In fact, European rulers of the time were punishing individuals for intellectual progress, blinded and confused by practices that seemed ungodly, such as the association of astrology with astronomy. The Moors, on the other hand, were promoting intellectual progress and were even regarded as the most proficient group in medicine and surgery in both Sicily and Spain throughout the Middle Ages. In 1492, after years of conflict, a collective force of Catholic kings finally drove the Muslims out of Europe for good, destroying much of what they had built or converting the structures into churches, all the while burning several centuries worth of books and knowledge that had accumulated during the time of Moorish rule. So, to answer the two big questions that are likely going to lead to a very interesting comment section, what was the race or ethnicity of the Moors? Asking this question is similar to asking the race of an American. They are a combination of races that could be as white as Europeans or as black as sub-Saharan Africans. The majority of them, however, were completely indigenous to North Africa and would look something similar to most of North Africa's population today, which would be a medium brown people who are neither black or white, or even Arab for that matter. Despite the strong linguistic and cultural influence that Arabs had in the region, but I'm not going to get into the specifics of the North African genetic history because that would require an entirely separate video. And then the other big question of the video that I answered was, did the Moors civilize Europe? Well, the whole concept of civilizing someone is flawed to begin with, as its entire concept has its origins in people with supremacist ideologies. However, if the question is whether or not the Moors had a dramatic influence on Europe's technology and science, then the answer is yes, but also no. For the most part, the Moors revitalized knowledge and culture that had already been known in Europe under Roman rule. It had simply been destroyed, forgotten, or ignored after the fall of the Roman Empire and the rise of Christian royal families. However, some new crops, ideas, and innovations were brought to Europe by the Moors. In general, the Moors did have a dramatic effect on bringing Europe out of its dark ages and directly influenced the continent's future cultural transitions and technological breakthroughs. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please click the like button and subscribe if you're not already. For direct access to sources used in my videos, you can visit the From Nothing official community website, which I'll provide a link to below. And while you're at it, join our community, create an account, and bring some activity to our forums, which currently have over 40 members and growing. Always remember, we don't come from nothing.
Yes, family, click the link. Anybody want to jump on? Sabir Bay in the bushes. Of course, as usual. I gotta do this video right here. With my man Captain Tazaryach and the whole Guerilla Hebrew thing. Let me see if I could find this video real quick. Guerilla Hebrew.
You have $20 cash?
Guerilla Hebrew. Off you flip those saltfish fishes. All right, so let me see what's going on now. Let's go to videos. Let's see if I could find it. I don't know when there's gonna be a truce between my brother Guerilla Hebrew and brother Tazaryach, but now they got Wack 100 involved, yo. That's crazy. That is crazy. Let me see. Oh, I gotta give some commentary on this video real quick.
That's a white man. I don't need a fucking white man. I need me. You asked me to say the truth next to the white man. I thought we had freedom of speech. I thought I could say what I want to say.
Oh, they was about to go. Why y'all cut that? Why y'all cut that? Why y'all cut that part, Cap? Come on, Cap, man. Come on. That's a teaser right there, man. How he gonna run up on the Cap like that? Oh my God. And there was, oh man. That's absolutely nuts right there. Why are you running up on Captain with so many men around him that support him? That don't even make no sense.
I need me. You asked me to say the truth next to the white man. I thought we had freedom of speech. I thought I could say what I want to say. Bow down to you, but you will bow down to us. I thought you was going to do something when you came back. Then you say, then do something. We are not Christians. We are not Christian. No, we're not. What we made you do, you wasted all your time to come back to talk to black men. Now, what you going to do? Do something if you're going to do it. You're not.
Oh my God.
You asked me to say the truth next to the white man. I thought we had freedom of speech. I thought I could say what I want to say.
Do something.
Bow down to you, but you will bow down to us. I thought you were going to do something when you came back.
Talk about it.
Then you say, then do something. We are not Christians. We are not Christian. No, we're not. What we made you do, you wasted all your time to come back to talk to black men. Now, what you going to do?
As far as Jamaica election, man, I'm not a... I grew up in my household was PNP, but I mean, I like what Andrew Holness is actually doing, man. I like what he's doing. I really do. I actually like what he's doing. Let me applaud Captain Tazaryach for actually being a black man out there on the street corners, teaching whatever he's teaching. Who cares? But oh man, he represented right here, boy. He represented right here. He's like, you say you're gonna come back, do something. Do something, nigga. I love it.
The white man. I thought we had freedom of speech. I thought I could say what I want to say. Bow down to you, but you will bow down to us. I thought you was going to do something when you came back. Then you say, then do something. We are not Christians. We are not Christian. No, we're not. What we made you do, you wasted all your time to come back to talk to black men. Now, what you going to do? Do something if you're going to do it. You're not. Filming with a camera ain't doing nothing. If you're going to do something, you'd have done it.
Yo, Cap had the line. Cap had the defensive lineman and the linebackers out there, yo. That was the wrong day to mess with Cap, yo. That was the wrong day. Yo, look at this, how big this dude is. He's like 800 pounds. How you gonna go at Cap? He got like an 800-pound linebacker in front of him. This is crazy, man. This is nuts. I love this video. I love this video. I love it.
Almost sound like cross the line a little bit. Almost sound like cross the line a little bit. If you want to cross the line, you want to cross it, right? What we finding out is fake Africans and white men won't do nothing to real black men. That's right. You'll do absolutely. All you doing is talking. Make me. You can't make me. That's right. And you know what's crazy? We ain't talked about women. We talked about nasty homosexual white men. And that's what you are. You're the sexual deviant. You're the predator. You're the murderer that took away my father's identity, took away my mother's identity, and we call you out on it every day, and you won't do nothing about it. What's y'all? I'm Sean Sell, man. And let me tell you something. We different over here.
Damn. Cap, if I was never a fan of you before, I became a fan of you today. I'll tell you that. All right. So this whole Guerilla Hebrew thing, I heard him on Clubhouse and Adam right here. They had this video right here. Hold on, let me click on this video right here. This is Adam and Wack is what we call in the Caribbean mixing.
You think? Look, Adam. Listen, one thing you know, you're an asshole. Mm-hmm. I'm a f***ed up asshole. I'm gonna say the shit you think I ain't gonna say. There's no way you gonna sit around me and some shit going on and I ain't gonna say it. You know why? Because it's a good chance I'm gonna talk about it on Clubhouse. So if I talked about it on Clubhouse and now you're in front of me, I look like a bitch ass nigga not saying it. If you in front of me and I don't talk about it, and then I go to Clubhouse and talk about it, I look like a bitch ass nigga. So like Guerilla Hebrew, and he survived.
The fact that he came in here was pretty hilarious.
No, he survived.
Yeah.
Listen.
We got the work.
Oh, listen.
Wait.
Yeah, Guerilla Hebrew shit.
There's more stuff that's emerged.
Yo.
Nah.
Guerilla got to come back. His wife wants to come. She said his ass was lying. She was in the motherfucking chat, bro.
What I want to figure out is this, right? When does this end? Like, is Guerilla Hebrew that important to talk about with the Israel? Was he the apex of Israelites? Because it seems like it's like Tasha K had a whole video about Wack 100, pretty much in the same activity, I think, if I remember correctly. And it was him. She was actually talking to Wack, and he was pretending to be his wife, I think, and some shit, the same type of shit. So I'm like, how? I don't know, bro. I don't know. I'm just saying. I don't know what anybody does in their bedroom, but I'm saying to Cap, when is this? There's a whole nother video. Not only this video right here, there's a whole nother video on Cap's channel right here about rule number 11. Yo, these niggas is funny as hell, yo. These niggas is funny as hell. And Wack, when Wack is on you though, he stays on you.
You see rule number 11, Cap.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna let Cap and Tazaryach.
Yeah, what was the rule?
See, what you gonna say is all these are street rules right here, right? All these are street rules, and you know, I'm from the ISUPK, and we ain't no street dudes, although we minister in the streets. But there's number 11. If you are found to be gay, willingly or exposed, you are stripped of all rank and handed your rainbow.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, when Wack is on you though, that dude, stays on you and don't let go. He'll put his whole career and deal with you one-on-one. That's it, you and him. And I think with Guerilla Hebrew, it's he's still a human being. And I think I don't know why people, even if he did something, whatever he did, and they say within the religion is wrong, but why will there ever be a truce though between him and Cap? I think there'll be a truce one day. Because Cap is a straight up dude. He'll handle the business. But at the end of the day, though, we'll see I don't know, man. I don't know. It's oh man. I don't know if you guys heard about this case, by the way. As a matter of fact, this Hebrew Israelite was arrested right here.
Look at what we have here. A Hebrew Israelite doing a violent attack.
Right now, the seventh suspect in that viral downtown brawl appears in court. The FBI arrested 38-year-old Patrick Rosemond in Atlanta earlier this month, and he was extradited back here to Hamilton County. Today, a judge said he believed to be an alleged main instigator of the injuries to one.
The knockout game where white people and little wind-up dolls are going to take the opportunity to play the knockout game with white people, and when they're down and knocked out, keep hitting them. Go for the kill is what this should have taught you in downtown Cincinnati.
Yeah, a Hebrew Israelite. I don't know which camp he's a part of, but he was arrested for being a part of that brawl in Cincinnati I don't know, it's a couple weeks ago or a couple months ago. But he was what do you call it? Yeah, let me get into some history and some stuff, man. Let me talk some history today, man. Come on, man. Let me do some teaching today. But with Cap and Guerilla, there got to be some sort of truce. There got to be some truce, man. There's got to be some truce. Anybody want to click the link? Want to talk about Priest Daniel and King James debate coming up? Are you guys interested in that debate? It's free. It's the date. The final date is coming up. I'm telling y'all, it's going to be a beautiful conversation, and y'all should be down with it, man. It's a beautiful conversation, man. It's a beautiful conversation. Beautiful conversation. Let me see if I want to teach something from this right here. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful conversation. Beautiful conversation. Nah, I think the brother has paid his debt for what he did. He's been shamed. So is he supposed to be shamed into hiding? Because I heard Captain Tazaryach say the guy has a gift. And that's what he said about Guerilla Hebrew. If he has a gift, use the gift. What if he changes camp and join ISUPK? Oh man. All right, so this is what's this right here? So why this thing come up? Why my presentation ain't come up? So this Friday, I'm going to be teaching about this right here. The Jesus Wars. About the Yah names. Going to be teaching about this. I also got to do a whole video on wider. I think our obsession with color is just crazy. And I think that's why how we draw people into us. You know, we try to use the whole color thing and draw people in. But yeah, I'm going to be teaching this Thursday on that. Tuesday, I have Bart Ehrman, Did Jesus Exist? That was a beautiful interview. Trey Hoover. All right, let me cause some trouble here in a minute. Let me cause some trouble. Got my guy Vocab. Oh, From Nothing. Let's go back to From Nothing. From Nothing got some good videos, man. Some good educational videos. I learned a lot from him. Very smart guy. Him and Home Team History taught me a lot. You got to give them their props, yo. Who were the Moors? So a vocab and a 12 tribe chart. Vocab Malone, 12 tribe chart.
Neither deal falsely.
Go ahead.
Neither lie one to another.
Bible says neither lie one to another. Don't lie to your own people. All right? So when you got situations where, and I'm not calling anybody else out, but it says, I wasn't there, but in certain situations, it was said that various different entities knew that the teaching of this 12-tribe chart, that it wasn't 100% truthful, that it continued to be utilized. Well, you judge. You be the judge from what you just read. Is that lawful? It's like me telling you what you want to hear, but knowing that there's something else that I should be warning you about. How would you feel about it?
Hey, Mika, jump on the live stream. I want to ask you something about that video real quick, right? Priest couldn't school anybody if I was in basic school. Did he say that the penny is George III? That's what I want to ask you. Did he say that the penny is George III? Did he say that? I'm not going to play it because I didn't watch it yet. And I want to watch it and do commentary and do research at the same time. So I don't know if I want to play it. No, but Mika, did he say that the penny is George III? I just want to know if he said that. That's all I care about. I don't really care about anything else. If he's arguing about I serve and all that stuff, who cares? You see, that's the whole thing with this video that I made Friday, right? Me and Hashar, we talking past each other. We arguing for the sake of arguing, but we're not saying what we really should say. So if you look at this dialogue that I had Friday on my channel, I had a hold on a second, let me find the video. General Hashar. So this is the video. In this video, people like to talk past each other. And what happened is people talk past each other and just yap for no reason. You didn't hear anything about that? Okay. All right. I'll play it. You know what?
About that.
You know
Mike,
what I'm gonna do?
I'm not sure if you fully caught what he just said. So
you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna play the video. I'm gonna do a Friday show on it. You see, all right. So now let me ask you a question, Mika. I'm gonna show you. I won't show you the clip. The argument really starts from that George III is the guy on that. The same thing that he's trying to apply to me, but appealing to authority and different fallacies. I would say, would he say George III is on the penny? That's the bottom line to the conversation. If you want to say, Golfy, you did this, or I shouldn't have did this, or shouldn't have did that, that's irrelevant. That penny is in the community as saying it's George III. That was the bottom line to my argument. If he's saying it's George III, then that's a whole nother conversation. Then we need to add that to the debate.
Well, when I say good, I don't mean
good.
Yeah. But here, let's go with this. Here we go.
Neither deal falsely.
Go ahead.
Neither lie one to another.
Bible says neither lie one to another. Don't lie to your own people. All right? So when you got situations where, and I'm not calling anybody else out, but it says, I wasn't there, but in certain situations, it was said that various different entities knew.
Go ahead, Mika.
Oh, you can hear me?
Hey, what's up? Yeah, I could hear you.
Okay. Yeah, he didn't say anything about what you just said, but he's saying that it's not a slave. Like, I don't know if it's a slave or not. I don't know. But I guess if you watch the video, you could get more information from it.
Yeah, somebody sent me a clip from it, and he was talking about different fallacies, and I'm like, okay, fine. But the bottom line is that Penny George III? Because that's his claim. That's his claim. So instead of him trying to correct me on whatever mishaps I've done, and the bottom line is it's not George III. There's no information that says it's George III. They pulled it out their ass, like he said with me and the commissioner with Charles II. He pulled that out his ass. As a matter of fact, too, hold on 1 second. I got you, Mika. Since you wanna bubbly, get it bubbly today. I got you.
You know, I gotta do what I gotta do.
I got you, sister. You got all right. Let me go back to these slides right here, right? And this is from some, and he said some stuff in the clip that the guy sent me, because he like did a barrage or whatever. So I got a Dagger Squad. And I'm like, oh man, this guy is funny. I just want to hear him say, you see, this is the problem, Mika. They can't say Garfield is right. So you see in the King James debate, listen, he's gonna say, if this is the case, King James is white. I bet you he says that in that debate, or something to that effect. Because nobody believes King James is black except black folks in America, and a little bit of sprinkling all over England. You might hear some people say it. And I understand in a sense why they say it. But it's crazy. It's revisionist history. It's revision. If you look at, all right, so for example, you see somebody called the black or whatever in the culture. They literally feel these are black people. And black is not a race at that time period. People don't get it. It's hard. Or you covering it up. So since they're covering it up, we're going to deal with the covering up during our debate. We're going to deal with it step by step by step. This is going to be so easy. I'm going to be like, so 30 years you're teaching this and you never knew what I'm putting on the screen. Nah, I don't believe that. I think, to be honest with you, I think Daniel don't want to stop teaching it. Priest Daniel, I think he wants to stop teaching it. I'm serious. I know he's listening. I think he wants to stop teaching it. But this is his way how to get out of it.
You think so?
It's crazy because you know something is not true, but you want to move on from it. But hey, everybody in the community knows him for that. For 30 years, this is his thing. His thing. King James is black. King James is black. I don't know why my thing is taking so long to upload.
So you said you don't want to watch the video yet because you want to do it on Friday, right?
I want to do it on a Friday, not this Friday. This Friday I'm doing the yarn names. So I'll do it, I'll play it, and then I'll just respond right on the same time.
Yeah, I just want to hear if you agree with what he's saying or you think you made a mistake or whatever the case may be. Because, you know.
No, if I made a
wrong.
mistake about something, is nothing wrong. The whole issue is it George III? That's the only thing I care about. Is it George III? And I'm going to play a video right now, just so you know what the argument is. So people don't think I'm bashing him for whatever reason or whatever. But hold on a second. Let me get this right here.
Brother-in-law asks if you ever gonna debate Jabari. Well, if Jabari not scared, I bet you Garfield will debate him.
That's another revisionist historian. Another revisionist guy. All right, listen to this right here.
Now we got to ask about George III. Charlotte Sophia was married to this guy right here. This is King George III. On the left-hand side, you see an image of George III that you can find on Google Images with ease. On the right-hand side,
My bad.
Now we got to ask about George III. Charlotte Sophia was married to this guy right here. This is King George III. On the left-hand side, you see an image of George III that you can find on Google Images with ease. On the right-hand side, you see an image of who also is George III. That's the real image. That is a coin that was minted in commemoration of George III that was put on the penny in Barbados.
Did he say in commemoration?
So when they went ahead and they were destroying all the black art and putting up the garbage that you see on the left, As I said before, the coins still remained. It didn't get to the coins to destroy them.
Did
They
he
weren't
slip
able to
in the
melt them all
tongue?
down. They were still in circulation.
Ooh.
You see,
and that guy on the left, on the right-hand side,
I don't want to go there. This is my point. Is he still saying this? I guarantee you he's not. This is what he needs to correct. He needs to come out and say,
I think in the video, I think he said he felt like he made a mistake. I think he said that in the video.
Okay.
But he still didn't say who that dude is on the coin.
It's definitely not George III. Definitely not George III. Definitely not George III. Definitely not George III. But the issue is, he says that's George III. He's teaching that. There's nobody pressuring him. This is a presentation on this guy's Basim's channel, I think, and he's teaching this. This is what he teaches.
And Garfield, I think you're like making him level up, because now sometimes if somebody don't show somebody else mistake, they keep saying the same thing over and again. So I think you're helping him out.
Now
he watching.
Yeah, he watching. But you see, he has the ability to change a lot of things. Now with the King James debate, I'm going for the juggler. I'm saying to the brother, and he's going to have his questions. I'm going to have my questions. But the issue is, are we going to put ourselves in a position where this has to be stopped being taught? I mean, if we look even at I'm sure there's things the elders taught. You see, what happened is you want to give respect to your elders. You don't want to change what your elders taught, because it seems like a disrespect to the overall organization. As Captain Tazaryach would call it, he said that's brotherhood. But if you can't change because you found something that was wrong, that means you're in a horrible cult. You're in a cult, and that got to change, because if King James is being taught by academia, and I know we got a distrust for white people, but if you look into it, all the information, or 99% of it is from 99.9% of it, 99999 is from white people that he's going to present at the debate. But yet still there's a distrust for white people, but he only likes some white people's information, but not others that don't agree with him. But then he says, I have bias. This is crazy. I mean, even when all right, so this is what happened. I played Friday. I don't know if you watched the Friday video, right? This is me, Priest Daniel, Hashar arguing straight up in each other's face. Hashar ran off, left Priest Daniela to get the beating. So I said, you stand up now, Daniela. You about to get beat up right now. Oh, you that nigga Garfield? Yes, I am. And this was 2017. See, for those who don't know, where the hell is the video? Right here. Let me play this part for you right here.
They are Hebrews. I'm going to press on one. As you see, I'm doing it live so everybody could see. Everybody could see the page, right? Let me look. Everybody could see it. Good. I want y'all to pay attention right now.
This is me and Robon. We were having a conversation years ago. This was courtesy, of course, of Sonetta. So let's talk about it.
You can't be so shit. Hey, hold on. You can't be us. What's the decree? Daniela, you next. Let's go. What decree do you know? You know the decree? I did. Do you know every decree? You asking me what the decree is? Like, you know, yo, hold on. You know every decree?
Hold on a second. Let me grab this other video real quick. I want to show something. Real quick. All right, so let me give you a little context, right? We weren't being recorded originally, but he was claiming that there was a decree, or the Papa Bull, as the brother Indigenous Black man points out. The decree was that the Black people, I don't recall 100%. I think this is the claim. I can be wrong, but I think the claim is that Black people that came over on the slave ships, the Roman Catholic had a decree basically saying that they were Israelites or Jews, and they were specifically targeted because they were Israelites or Jews. I think that's what the conversation was about. I can be wrong. I'm sure somebody would say, no, that's not, but it was something to that effect. And that there was a decree, or one of the papal bulls actually stated that.
Let's go. What's the decree? Daniela, you next. Let's go. What decrees do you know? I did a whole reason. You know every decree. You asking me what decree? It's like, yo. I'm ready to jump some head. So I'm gonna tell you this right now. Check it out, right? I'm gonna use the Chronicles of Syria, right?
If you notice, the whole time Hashar is refusing to say he don't want to admit to anything, because if he does, he knows the Dagger Squad gonna eat him alive. And listen, family, we were hungry at this time. Dagger Squad was hungry, and we was hungry. We wanted to take on anybody, anytime. So when we came out there, Priest, he'll admit this, he was kind of drunk, because definitely he grabbed that mic and went in on Dr. York. He was definitely drunk that day. But watch this, family. When he started talking about the Zerara and Adahu, the Moor, and all that stuff, which Hashar probably knows about, he's like, oh my God. So why don't you tell us what decrees is? Because he put himself in a ringer that he couldn't get out. So look at what he started. He was just looking a way to run. But watch this. This is what Garfield does, man. Nobody wants Garfield to be right. This is why the King James debate, I'm not worried about Priest Daniela bringing out pictures or statues or anything. I'm not worried about any information he's bringing out. I know King James is not a black man, and it's one of the craziest theories ever. But I would definitely want him to. I want to be on record so that the Israelites who watch could see another position on this issue. I don't disagree with him about the about sculptures and statues and what. I don't disagree with none of that. I look at everything in context. Maybe 5 years ago, I would have been a jump out the window or certain thing. But nowadays, I'm more chill. I'm more relaxed. All right. But I know for a fact King James is not a black man.
You know what they was looking for? What was they looking for? Tell us what they was looking for. I'm gonna tell you what they was looking for. They was looking for. No, don't say it. He was acting like he knows these TVs. There we go. See what.
If you notice, Rawbon basically asked him a question. Do you know what the Portuguese who came on the coast of West Africa, what were they looking for? He's like, oh my God. Now he's telling us to go to Maccabees TV. Why don't you just answer the question and stop running from the conversation? You see, these guys read. I ain't gonna front. I used to say they don't read, but they know a little something, something. I ain't gonna front. You know a little something, something. These guys, Hashar and Priest Daniela, Yawasap, these guys are willing to read. I don't think they read the right stuff most of the times, but they read stuff. But the point is, why don't you just answer Rawbon, Hashar? Why don't you answer Rawbon? You refuse to answer about the decrees. You're running from that. You're walking all over the place, making all type of noise, but don't refuse to answer the question.
You need a new set of Hebrews. You need a new set of Hebrews. Okay? These Hebrews BS. And when people with intelligence is fought around, they ain't got no talk. When they get checked about sources, they ain't got nothing. We asking Ashar for 3 hours right now. Where is the decree?
It don't exist. But guess what? You can't admit that on camera because you're going to look stupid and you're going to have golf, you're going to have a one-up on you. So we can't be honest.
We did a 2-hour-and-a-half presentation. You Hebrews got a scripture where they say, prove all things. That's in Thessalonians. I want to know the decree. That's the shot. When have you ever seen a Sean Daniela run? Hold up. Let me do the running.
All right, let me turn it off. I was having fun. I was definitely having fun, Frank.
Yeah, that looked like fun times.
I was definitely having fun. But
I think y'all had one in the park too, or that was somebody else.
That was me and Priest Daniela's whole crew, man. He saw me slaughter them in front of his face, man.
Wow.
I don't have that video. I need that video, man. Damn, I need that video. Look at this guy, Israelite Jewels. King James is a so-called black man. Okay. I'm not arguing with nobody.
Yeah, somebody acted, I believe that King James was black. No, I know he's a European. Come on, that doesn't even make no sense. Look at the time. There's a lot of things that will show you that the dude was a European.
Facts. Yeah, but I'm a definitely. I don't want to respond to his video, but I want to play it just to put the conversation in context of what he's trying to do and what he's running from. Obviously, he's running from claiming that he's George III, but it's on record. It's on record. He can't. I have the copy of it. I downloaded it and made a whole presentation about it. We can't. You see, there's certain things you can't get away from anymore. This was years ago, but if you don't teach it anymore, you got to come out and say, "Oh, I don't teach this no more. I don't teach that no more." You got to come out and say it. If you don't, we're gonna hold you to that every time.
You heard that, priest? If you wrong, you wrong. You gotta fix it.
And if he's right about what he said in that video, watch me admit to everything that he said.
Okay.
Without
that's what I like. That's what
Without
I
a
like.
problem,
We
like,
all
yo,
learning. We all teaching
right, bro.
people. So if you wrong, you gotta say you wrong.
Say you wrong.
Right.
We don't owe nobody nothing. We don't owe nobody nothing, man. I ain't paying your bills or nothing. It ain't nothing to admit that I'm wrong about something. But he did. The guy sent me a clip about something. I just gotta laugh. But you gonna see when I do the video, you're gonna see. I just gotta laugh, man. I just gotta laugh. I really gotta laugh. I really gotta laugh. I just gotta laugh. Shit is funny. Shit is funny. Everybody make errors, but you know we gonna correct them errors. And another error is this. This is in the community that they teach. Look at this right here. They teach that this is James II. James III. If you look at the marks that they have, it's from the realhistory.www.com website. But the truth is, they did it because the white one is supposedly to be fake because they have on the same armor clothes. But when you trace this picture down, it's somebody who's a Moor. I ain't seen him correct that yet. I ain't seen him correct that yet.
Oh, you hear that, priest?
They still
correct
teach
it.
that. They still teach that. See, it's right here. It was selling for 15 grand. Price realized 27 grand. So the same artist, Entourage de Francois de Troyes, that actually did the portrait. Because it says, I had to ask your friend, Asari Motep, to translate this from me. This is a portrait of a mulatto in armor. It's French. And you know he speaks French. He reads and speaks French. So
Talking about talking about a star. Chuck Morgan need to find somebody because I'm tired of this. He be doing his shots all on my posts and stuff. Just find somebody to debate the dude, and it won't be no problem.
But Asar don't want to debate him.
No, because Asar have to teach him about what's going on. Because Chuck Morgan is not a scholar in the language like that. And if I'm wrong, Chuck Morgan can always come here and speak his piece.
Yeah,
but I'm just saying,
he's pretty good with the Sumerian. He's very good with the Sumerian.
Well, they need to find somebody that knows.
Asar is not good enough in Sumerian. Who said he was?
The language.
The language. I'm talking about the language. Who said Asar?
Okay, so Chuck Morgan needs to explain what is the problem because he picking on one word. And he's not understanding what is being said by Asar. So sometimes it just confuses me with the back and forth because what are you saying? What are you talking about? And you know, get somebody who really know the language that could be like, guess what, Asar, you're wrong. And then boom, everything is done. You know? But the shots that he be taking, every little shots, what that gonna do? Okay, continue.
Oh man, I tell you. Oh man. I think well, here's the book right here. I actually got in contact with the author right here because of Priest Daniel. I think he's dead now anyway. He wasn't in the 90s when I emailed him. As a matter of fact, the good thing I brought this up because I was gonna actually look for that email. Look for that email. What's the guy name? Ralph Griffiths. Ralph Griffiths. Yeah, but it should be a very interesting. A lot of people going to learn a lot. And I gotta make 500 slides turn into 200 slides, and then also able to actually give my point of view clearly to the people that's watching. So, hey, let's see what happens.
Yeah, when you said that debate gonna happen,
it should happen sometime in December.
Oh, so September, October, November. So you got a while. Okay. You should already have that on file too. Like, okay, debate come, boom, 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 boom.
Hold on, let me see what I asked him. I have the email here.
Oh, Chuck Morgan in the house. He want the link. The link is pinned, Chuck Morgan. Please hit the link because you need to let people know what's going on.
So John Cannon was the one that you know what? Let me ask him. Since I got him here, yeah. Yeah, I actually emailed the author of this book right here. Very interesting. So Chuck Morgan, if you're able to come on, bro.
Can he see the link? It's pinned to the top. It's pinned. I don't think a lot of people know the back and forth with Chuck Morgan and Asar, but you know, it's some stuff that they need to fix because they used to be friends, and I don't understand what the hell is going on. It started off with somebody saying the Sumerians was black, and then it took legs. So Chuck Morgan could maybe come up here and explain what's going on. But like when you think about it, I mean, if you go by the equator, they already got the skin map. If they could be dark skinned. I don't like using black because black could be what is black? Was they dark skinned? Yeah, what's the big deal?
Facts. Turn.
Let's go. Hello, Chuck Morgan. How are you doing?
How are you, Miss Mika? How are you?
Hi. Yeah, could you explain what's going on?
Well, there's no big thing. To your points, as far as this whole scholarly thing, remember, it was only the reason I said that on that post was because you were the one that said you two need to debate and get this thing over with. So
right.
My response was, well, if that's the case, the only way I would debate him is if you had a historic or a comparative linguist who's a professional in that field.
What he asked you to
Let me
find.
finish. So that they would be able to stop him at each point without me having to do it myself and then point out the inconsistencies or the violations against the comparative linguistic model, the rules that's already been established for over 200 years. So that's all I was saying in regards to that, as well as having an Assyriologist that will be able to add credence or even agree with him with regards to the Sumerian language. That's all I was saying. Not that it was some ongoing discussion that, I am the one, because that became the red herring. That became this new talking point to get away from the position that I was standing on, as well as many other people that have criticized him, which was that he, quote, had been doing 20 years of research But in that 20 years, he's got all these groundbreaking theories about the Sumerian language being related to African languages, blah, blah, blah. But he never had the courage to present that work before the body of real linguists that they could critique his work and challenge him, as opposed to he just saying it on YouTube as a YouTuber. So that was my whole point. If you're so thorough in what you say and what you got, to take it to the big shots, take it to the big boys, and see how thorough you really are.
Okay.
That's all I was saying.
Yeah, but if you feel that way, why don't you find one that you like, that you would think would do a great job to do that?
Well, here's the thing.
Why he got to find his own? That don't, you know?
No. If you go back to that post, what I said was, Garfield, you find it, because you got access to a lot of these guys. I know some people, but they're not going to waste their time because they've already looked at his work and they see that it's absolutely ridiculously false. They've already looked at it.
But that's not even proving anything. They looked at it, but they're not saying what he did was wrong.
I tell you what. I've already put up a number of posts and videos showing that he's in violation of the comparative method that he claims to be so astute in. He has no degrees in it. He's never taken any college course on it, and it shows in his work. So that's all I was saying. Not that I'm supposed to go out and grab a seriologist or a linguist. I said that if I were to ever debate him, we need to have a fact checker there, as opposed to the audience who will be clueless on some of the rhetoric and the talking points that he would use, because he's very good. Like any one of these cult leaders, they're very skillful in using the rhetoric and the talking points that will lose the audience. But to professionals who study it, who know what to look for, they will be able to freeze. That's not reality. There is no rhotic sound in Sumerian. So any comparative method you're using by claiming like burr and dor and duru, and you're using the R sound, that's impossible because we don't have that in Sumerian. So your whole comparative argument on that level falls completely on its face. So that's all I was pointing out. And I put up enough posts as well as videos from different channels going at him. Then the only reason I went after him is because dude was taking shots at me. I don't even fuck with him because I was like, dude is a Bama. I don't even need to even waste my time with him. But because he started throwing these little pot shots, I'm on his ass now.
Woo! I love it.
That's how I feel. So all that diplomatic shit and being nice and trying to be professional, fuck that shit. I'm being like I am, and I've always been. I had to tone my language down because I'm dealing with that wappy and stuff, and I don't want to lose audience. But I'm treating dude like he treated me. He disrespected me. So I'm on his ass, so fuck him.
Yep. And if you out there and you listening, this is what it is.
Yeah, being his bitch ass on.
He thinks you're wrong, Asar. So, and you want a professional to say that you're wrong.
No, what I said was I want to. No, you see, you're missing the point of what I was saying initially. Forget about getting somebody up to debate him. Bring your work before the experts. If you got 20 years of groundbreaking results, then present it to the experts so that they can critique it, analyze it, scrutinize it, criticize it, as opposed to the lay person who may see different things because they're involved in a particular field of study of language, Sumerian. Have the experts look at it. And you can pull it up on ChatGPT. You can look at Claude, or any AI. Hell, you can look it up in any search engine and look at his comparative method, and you see that it's some fringe idea that has no credibility. And for one, he refuses, after 20 years of research, to present it before the experts. I mean, how magnificent could you not be if you came across something that they say that scholars and no one has done the work, then you refuse to present it to the people that you say you're a part of, your peers, even though you don't have a degree in that area. But that's notwithstanding. That's all I was saying. But because I'm talking on something totally different, talking about the Black Sumerian thing, and because I critiqued his boy, Herman Hermstein, who's another grifter like him, he gets pissed off and starts throwing little shots at the brother, me. And you know, I'm from DC, so I like the smoke. Bring it.
I like that you like the smoke.
Yeah.
I hope that, you know, either Garfield or somebody could find an expert where it could squash this whole thing. It could like end it.
You're still missing the point.
I don't understand.
Listen, sweet, listen. Why not just take your work, submit it to a linguistic journal? And I even on one of the videos I did, I gave 10 journals that specialize in that, peer review. But he refuses to. Why? Because he knows that shit will be kicked out of right where it came. Because they know it's all bullshit. But hey, if it pays his rent, you know, keep a window in his car, cool.
Oh, he throwing shots.
I ain't throwing no shots. I'm shooting shots.
Okay. It's gonna be shot back. Watch. I'm gonna hear something else.
You can throw the shot, you know. Shit, my shots is that, man, we can meet up somewhere. We can get in the ring and do a charity boxing match. That's the real shot.
It's just information.
It's all good. But like I said, you take shots at me, I'm gonna come at your bitch ass. That's how I roll.
Mm-hmm. I seen your presentation on what his guy name? Kimverse or whatever. I forgot his name. Yeah, I seen
that's one of several, just different places. People who are willing to listen, I'm willing to share it.
Maybe Golf to share it one day, and
I'd be happy to come on there and bring the presentation. I still have stuff I haven't even brought up, but my whole thing was because I enjoy, you know, studying and dealing with people who, you know, have a vested interest in the Sumerian language, history, and culture. You know, I enjoy it. It's a good hobby for me. It's like all the other things I do. However, when I see these guys that are like Billy Carson and Umar Johnson and Dr. York, I see Asara Imhotep as one of them kind of characters. And I'm not going to sit back and let another Zechariah Sitchin come and mess up something that I enjoy. Where we got people who are quoting this clown and they thinking it's true. That's that. And I even spoke to some Assyriologists and told y'all need to start stepping your game up and going after these grifters because they are tapping into your livelihood. Sure, he can do that, you know, behind the scenes, on the ground, on YouTube, Facebook, or even sell it on Amazon, where it's no big thing. But the real credibility will be submitting your work before a peer-reviewed journal. That's it. So any debate should follow that, because then if he said, well, his work has been analyzed and found to be quite sound, then anyone who will debate him, then he becomes a real competitive individual in academia. But right now, he ain't no better than you or me. He just knows the rhetoric. He just knows the talking points. Just like any other grifter knows how to be professional in how you articulate the arguments in order to captivate the audience.
Well, Asar is a very smart person, and Wu Jiao is too. So,
I this has nothing to do with Jiao, and that was the whole point of why I never went after him after he took those shots at me, because I did the Black Sumerian thing on the Garfield show. Is because my man was, you know, that's my man. That's his man too, and I don't want to put my brother involved in that shit.
Hey Chuck, why don't you do this? I see you on what's his name channel. By the way, to that guy.
Yeah, I know. But what you say?
Talk about talk about his ass. He got that Egyptomaniac nonsense too. But that's another time. because he don't like me at all. He calls me, "Oh, you're not smart." He do the whole authoritative thing. You're not smart enough to have this. He does that too. He does
And
that
he got
too.
the voice too.
Let you
Well,
know.
look, I'm like this, man. I'm friends with everybody. I mean, all the people I'm friends with are everybody's a rival. Everybody's going at each other, but I'm neutral. I don't get involved in that. You know, we just deal with something on a specific
Just ask
topic.
you if it's okay for me to put it on my channel because I want to put it on. A
Oh,
couple
yeah. I don't see why not. Yeah.
Yeah, let's ask him.
You just focus on that. You know, that whatever's pertinent, whatever you need, keep it going. I have no problem with it.
Yeah.
I stand by everything.
We could have commentary on it too. It's
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
What up, Garfield? What up, Chuck? What up,
Hey,
Mika?
what's up, Dick?
Hey.
I don't understand one thing they're talking about. I have no commentary.
Hey, you know
I just
what,
wanna-
Garfield? I'm sitting here raising my voice. I'm over here at work, man. I'm supposed to be getting off in about I'll be off in about 15 minutes. But after I heard Mika, my dear sister, I had to come on. And I would never
It's
come
all
on and
love.
say
It's
anything
all love,
disparaging about you. But I just
It's
wanted
all
to
love.
bring clarity to that argument because
can I ask
it
you a
is
question?
because the way that he framed it now is that, oh, I said for years that I want to debate your teachers. But the point is that some of these teachers looked at his stuff and said, I'm not wasting my time arguing with this guy. This guy is not
It
an
goes back
academic.
to this, Mika. People don't want to admit that they're wrong.
Of course you don't want to admit it. Come on, man. 20 years of research and you ain't brought your arguments before the experts. But you want an expert to come and sit and be a referee in the debate. But you won't submit it to the big boys, a whole line of experts in your quote field. Get
So
out
are
of
you
here.
saying
You
the
know what that is.
Sumerians aren't black?
Huh?
Or are you Sumerians weren't black?
No. Nope. Now that I'll debate anybody on.
Savior, you want that?
Anybody can get it.
Yeah.
And be specific. And this is what I said on a couple other shows recently. Is that when people ask that question, I have to ask them, what is your definition of black?
African.
No.
So I agree with you.
No.
I think Chuck's a hater, man. They Africans, bro. They black like tar.
I wish they Garfield. I wish they were.
Oh, so what you think they were light skinned? What they were? You know what I see the Sumerian as? I have a picture in my head. They are like what we would say Indian looking, like that type of look they may have, like
Dravidian.
Yeah, like that kind of look.
But here's
that's
the
what
thing.
I would say. What
I'm
you
sorry.
say? No,
Here's
what
the
you say?
Well, I do what my dear brother Zion Lex said, and I always quote him on this. We look crazy trying to tell them what they look like when they left records of how they look.
Mm-hmm.
We look crazy.
Yeah, that's
exactly. Good. That's the crazy part.
Didn't Zion used to teach that they black too?
Who?
He used to teach that they black, right?
Who, me?
No,
Zion.
Oh, I suppose. Yeah, I think he did. I don't know if he still does, but I may have to sit down with him because I really respect him. And we did that show, Garfield. He and I, we sat down, we had a discussion about that, and you never put the show back up.
Oh, you did?
I deleted it by accident, yo.
Oh, damn.
Hey, man, that was a classic, man. It was so respectful.
I remember that
We was
show.
discussing it.
Zion kept saying, he's probably saying, I don't want to put it up because of whatever. Nah, bro.
It's all good. No big deal. But anyway, that was my whole point, Sister Mika. I just wanted to bring some context to the argument behind the scenes is that they're trying to run away from his obligation to present his work to be critiqued by experts rather than changing the narrative to say that, oh, well, Chuck is ducking the fact that he is supposed to get a sumerologist to debate me or to critique my work. No, you take it to the historical comparative linguists who specialize in that field, who have decades of history in that field. Not some brother who is opposed to you because he studies a mid-level Sumerian grammar. No, it's not that easy. You got to take it to the stars, and then we'll see how thorough you are. But my good brother Netter Ned did an excellent job in presenting his argument, showing how the fallacy in his arguments have always been, which pretty much is why he still to this day, 2025, refuses to bring that work before the experts. That's all I'm saying. You so thorough, take your stuff to the big boys. If you don't want to take it to them, then you will always be this mediocre character that's on YouTube and Facebook pushing an argument like you some scholar. But I got to run because I got to get ready to clock out.
Okay, thanks for hitting the link.
I appreciate you.
Now
Enjoy.
we know.
Mika starting trouble.
Now
Little
we know.
troublemaker.
I'm not starting trouble. It's just stuff going on that people not maybe aware of. Okay.
That's what Mika does.
You know,
She's always been a troublemaker.
Oh yeah, right. I start good trouble, not bad trouble.
Mika doesn't want to see a debate. She loves debates.
Oh yeah, it's fun. And plus, you know, if people get it right, it could be educational too. You know? And I'm glad he said his piece. So, you know, we know it's on record. And the Tsar could come back and be like, look at this.
Sumerians weren't black or African.
Say what?
Yeah, he said the 10 toes down. Sumerians not black.
Is to me it's kind of hard when you talk about people migrating off that continent. Who to say what? You know, who gonna say what? And like you say, people gonna call themselves like if somebody say you're African, you have the right to say, well, no, I didn't come from Africa. I came from America, and I was born in America, so I'm American. So you have the right to choose to say who you are. Am I wrong?
I don't disagree with that, but I don't think I disagree with what you're saying. But when we're talking about, like he said, those people left records of what they look like. So for us to put a modern construction onto those people would be fallacious as hell.
Yeah, they left record, but they didn't say a lot of stuff describing themselves. They made black-headed one. Okay, that's kind of confusing. Like in that time, what are they calling blackhead? Is it the hair is black or the sun hitting on your head that make you black? It's like a whole lot of stuff.
The dictionary don't say that anymore.
What it said? Oh, it don't say that anymore.
Mm-mm.
What it says now, Garfield?
It says humankind.
Humankind? That means a dark person?
No, it don't say black-headed. When it translated as black-headed one, they don't translate it as that anymore. That was an early translation.
Oh, so you're saying it just say humankind. So it's not really describing anything, just a human.
Yeah, humankind in general.
Hey, we could say that about a lot of history. We could say humankind took over the earth. Humankind walked along the seven seas. I mean, everything is just wild.
Along the seven seas?
I'm just saying. It's a metaphor.
That's a bad metaphor.
That's a metaphor. Oh, Jesus walked on water.
Metaphor, Mika. We'll rethink that one. We'll let that one slide.
What you said?
We're gonna let that one slide.
No, Jesus walked on water. Shit. And people believe it. And people believed it. You know? Okay. It's like crossing the ocean. We know how we know they found a way to cross the ocean. You know? But yeah, it would be interesting. I want to see a SAR and somebody professional, speak on the topic. I don't care if it's a discussion, a conversation, whatnot. But at least now other people will know if it's right or wrong. Because most of the thing, I think people just want to know if the information is correct. You know, that's what's really going on. But maybe we find out, maybe we won't.
Well, a lot of people are, what I've noticed is a lot of people are mixing belief with history. And that's how they're coming up with their conclusions. So it's gonna always be be mixed up and confusing. As long as people can mix their beliefs with what they conclude, it'll so this should only way it's gonna get better is if people learn to separate their beliefs from history.
People can't do that. They don't know how to do that. That's the problem.
I don't think I disagree with that.
Because a lot of things we tend to be true. We have to believe it to be true first, don't we? We have to, and then you find out. I don't know. It just mixed up. It just mixed up, man.
So Mika, so what would convince you? The other day, right? I'm doing my slides, and I found a primary source of King James grabbing somebody's neck and kissing them on the lips.
What? And what?
I found King James, some of my old notes. Primary of him grabbing somebody by the neck. You know when your man say man grab you, like grab you and kiss you by your lips. He's not gay though. He's not gay.
He's not. Oh hell yeah! In those times, oh my God! If anybody knows, in those times, Europeans did some things that was what it is. So I would believe that King James was kissing men and had boyfriend and had a wife and had kids and because they did that in those times. It wouldn't surprise me if you know history.
Facts. What do you think about Guerilla and Tazaryach? You think it's time they squash that foolishness?
I think that Guerilla is trying to sneak back that priest and for the business thing. I feel that Tazaryach only doing it to let people know that he's he's not doing, he's sinning, and he's telling you you're sinning, and then he wants your money.
No, they're not in the same camp though. Why
because they're supposed to be checking each other. That's how I feel. Like if you're supposed to be this holy group and you're supposed to be doing stuff right and you got leadership and all that, you have to call out when somebody is doing wrong.
Well,
you can't let them continue to do it.
They're the home of the truth. So if you're not ISPK, you ain't an Israelite.
Yeah, that's how they talk. Home of the truth. Tazaryach, you funny. But
when does it end though? Does he carry this on for another year, or does he give him a pass? Does he say enough's enough? Like when is enough enough?
Enough is enough is when he stopped trying to hold that position. If he's part of the world, if he's a regular Garfield person, whatever, he could do whatever he wants. But if he's trying to portray himself as a priest, he's a God-fearing person, and he's not really that, I think it should be called out. I mean, it's their part of their world. It's their world.
But he's perfect though. So if Cap did something wrong, you gonna hold him to the same standard?
Hell yeah. Just like I would hold Garfield, that's how I would hold Sabio. If I see y'all doing wrong, I'm gonna say, guess what? You wrong. And I'm gonna tell you why you wrong. And I ain't scared to tell you.
Brooklyn.
Say what?
I said Brooklyn after Brooklyn.
But isn't it only right if somebody doing wrong, you gotta tell them they wrong?
But if that's the case, if he said he repented though, how do we go from there? Where do we go from there?
How is he showing he repented? He went in the corner and told himself he repented.
But how does he show that? How does he show that?
He stopped lying.
Stop lying?
Yeah, he's still lying. He's still masking the fact of what we found out. To me, I don't really care. But if he's gonna portray himself as something, guess what? And just like if somebody portray themselves as a scholar and they're not a scholar, ain't you gonna call them up and be like, what the hell? And you wrong.
I don't know. Cap is the only one that's out there doing this though. All the other camps are silent.
Because Captain got himself a name in these YouTube places. Or in these, he got a name in these places where he could speak on it and people may listen than anybody else, like a willy-nilly, person.
I think whatever happened is something very comedic in a sense, and you could make jokes out of it. And I think Cap don't want people to think that this is what Israelites do.
True.
Keeps driving that down. But the more he talks about it, is the more people going to know who Guerilla Hebrew is. I'm curious.
That is true too.
Because the brother got a gift, man. As Captain said the other day, he has a gift. The dude could talk, man. The dude know the scripture, bro.
Yeah, because you know the scripture, that don't mean you right.
No. But he said he repented though. Once he said he repented, I mean, I would have shut up. I'd have left it alone.
Oh, it's just like me. If I kill somebody and repent, I should be okay, right?
Yeah. No. If he had let's use atonement then. He atoned first.
And
he's still in atonement. It's a process. It's not a one-day process.
If that's the case, why he try to jump back to do like everything, nothing happened? Is that okay?
He was trying to interview for a position.
Yeah.
No jump as a commentator, and I think he interviewed first.
Yeah.
I think the brother is definitely atoning. That's what I think.
Yeah, I think he's feeling it now. No lie. I think he's feeling it now.
What he did, and we need to look. I mean, I don't know. That's up to Captain what he wants to do. I can't tell him what to do, but I just hope eventually one day him and they'll never be friends. I'll tell you that.
Real is funny as hell. He said Garfield's in the bathroom interviewing.
I'm in the kitchen washing dishes.
You are funny.
I'm in the shower talking to Mika, right? Wow.
This shit weird.
Wow.
It's Sabio. What you think about the Guerilla situation?
He did hear the water though. In his defense.
Yeah, it sounds like water.
What I think about it, I think all that shit needs to I think it's stupid. What you mean? Like his whole
do you think Captain should keep beating it into him that what he did was wrong or what's going on? Do you feel like the situation is a bad look on Israel?
Look, everything that the Israelites do is a bad look on them.
I know you gonna say that. I asked the wrong person. I knew he gonna say something like that.
That only made it look worse.
Yeah,
that only made them look worse. We already got them. We already got who was it? Black Jesus minister talked about he'll grab Tazaryach by his beard and give him the holy kiss.
But you know what? That part, okay, and back in the days, even in some places, they kiss men. No, listen, Sabio, in different culture, they kiss men on the cheek like regular kiss. It don't have nothing to do with sex.
Look. Holy kiss.
It don't. Some culture is they kiss men on the other men kiss other men on the cheek, and it's not gay, and it's not have nothing to do with sex. Am I wrong?
Cheek to cheek, lip to lip.
I mean, am I
he
wrong?
Said holy
men
kiss.
Do
he didn't say he and then he said it. I would kiss him on the lips.
Oh no.
Somebody block Mongo Slade for me real quick. Cause he violated me. He said Golfy watching paper plates is wild.
Not paper plate.
Let me scroll up and see who said that.
Bogus. Paper plates. I don't know what they got going on over there in them camps. Stay away from them.
It's very interesting, right? That if we look at everyday people and see what they're doing. If you go on social media, the conscious community, the Hebrew Israelite community, we're the things when you hear things happen here, we're just a microcosm of what's happening overall in the world that we live in.
Right.
And I think people look at it wrong because you want people to be perfect. Nobody's perfect, bro. Nobody's perfect.
Nobody want people to be perfect.
Just be better. You don't have to be perfect. Just be better. Be a better human being.
But
you know, no,
you
I
know
don't
what's
think
crazy?
nobody's perfect.
But you know what's crazy? It's the religious people that say they better than everybody.
Yeah, and if they better act better than everybody, if they're claiming that, because they're gonna get called out. But it's true, they do act like they better than.
I need y'all commentary on a couple of videos on Instagram that I felt was crazy. Now, this guy is at a game. He's at MetLife Stadium watching the tennis matches and literally jerking off while he's at the game. This guy right here. It's crazy. Look
He did a soul of mine.
No, what happened with I hear people keep saying that. What happened with Soul of Mine?
Soul of Mine was on the train jerking off, getting his kicks off. He has a problem.
Yo, to a teenager.
No,
to a teenager.
I don't. You know what? It wasn't the fact. Okay, it's the fact it was a teenager that made it bad. But that's his thing. Going out in public, jerking off, turn him on. He didn't care if it was a teenager, a little kid, blah blah blah. He's wrong for that. But he has a problem with jerking off in public.
Wow. Now let me ask y'all a question. Outside of Soul of Mine, have you ever heard of anybody doing anything in public?
Outside of him, no.
Okay. Very interesting character. This is the guy. Look at him right here. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Instagram. Forgive me for showing this. He's playing with himself. Where is he at?
Oh, he in public. See, he getting turned off. That's a problem. That's a mental problem.
Look at that. I punch him in the head. So what the hell?
He should get punched in the head.
That's what's up. Somebody clubbed his ass
in front of people. See, you see, all kids is there too. Little, teenage kids is there too. He's getting his shit off in front of other people, kids there too, because he got a problem.
Take his
shout out to the man. Look at him. You look at him. You see he got a perv type of demeanor. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what the hell is that, bro? Look at this dude. Dude, shout out to that white boy that punched him. Shout out to you, bro.
Disgusting.
Shout out to you, bro.
That's what he get. He deserved that shit.
People mad like they want to be mad with him because he did it. What the hell?
They give him a big pow in front of kids. See those teenage kids right there? You know they teenage kid. Gotta watch that shit.
They built the community, all white community they want to build in Arkansas.
Want to live with just white people? That's their right. Sure, Randy. But if they really want to be white only, then they should go all in. What do you mean? Well, they'd have to ditch their phones. Cell patents came from Asian inventors. Wait, no phones? Yep, and no GPS either. An African-American woman, Dr. Gladys West, helped make that possible. So, no maps on their trucks? Actually, no trucks either. Ford, GM, Toyota, and Tesla all have minority investors, board members, and global supply chains. Damn. So they'd be walking? Yeah, and in shoes without rubber soles. Black scientists revolutionized vulcanization and material science. So barefoot? Barefoot, but still no air conditioning. That was perfected by a black engineer, Frederick Jones. Man, and it gets hot in Arkansas. Oh, and forget using computers. The PC, the internet, even touchscreens have foundational contributions from Asian and black engineers. You're saying they'd be stuck in the woods with nothing but mosquitoes? Ah, nice catch, Randy. No mosquito repellent either. DEET was created by a Latina chemist. I hope they enjoy racial purity. And West Nile. Damn, that sounds rough. Well, if they want true segregation, then they need to start with no phones, no cars, no electricity, no medicine, and no internet. That don't sound like much of a community. You're right. It sounds more like a campfire cult. And lucky for them, Kool-Aid was invented by a white guy. I don't see the problem with that compound and all.
Listen, why black people can't have their own stuff, but white people, But I agree. Let them have them stuff. Let us have our stuff and leave us alone. We leave each other alone. But I hear what he's saying. If you want to make it a white, just make it all white. Don't include nobody that made something that was of different race. What do you think, Sabio? Sabio still on here?
Yeah, I'm here. White people crazy as hell, confused as hell. They more confused than black folks. All you got to do is listen to their arguments about different shit, from religious views to political views. They fucked up too.
Well, when I first came to this community, that's what I was teaching. Abandoned towns, black people living by themselves, separating themselves. Like, oh, they're gonna kill them off.
You know why people are like that too? Because they tried it before. Look at Wall Street and the other thing, and then here comes somebody making up stuff so they could burn down their place. I mean, I'm not saying that black people never tried it. They tried it. It's just that I feel like listen, some people ain't gonna call me black. But black Americans, they feel like they tried it already, and it stuff keep happening, and they don't want to do it again. You know, and then this is what they also do. They try to split other black people apart. So I'll be getting on y'all black Americans because y'all don't know what the hell y'all want. Don't get me started. We're true story in that.
This is what is it? It's in politics. That's the Mexican Senate, man. Damn, we need more. We need that in America. That's what we need.
I think they have that everywhere.
Somebody said they like her accent. You
know what's crazy, Garfield?
Yeah.
When I speak around Jamaican, my accent I feel comes out stronger than when I'm speaking.
Of course.
I don't even know. I don't even hear it, but I guess so.
Captain Tazaryach played this on his channel. I sent this to him. This was a Jewish guy in the airport taking pictures of kids, man. And these brothers saw him. They was about to beat his ass.
Delete it out your phone. Delete it out your phone. I told you, look, you taking mad pictures of them little fucking girls. I told you. Delete it. Nah, don't hit him yet. Don't hit him yet. Don't hit him yet. Delete. No, let him delete it first. Let him delete it first. No, that's robbery. Let him delete it first, bro. Let him delete it first. Let him delete it first. I told you I knew what the fuck I was saying, bro. Delete it. Delete it. Those are babies. Those are babies. Delete it. All of it. Matter of fact, where's the police at? I told you I was watching them do it for the longest. You take and pick them girls is like fucking 11 years old, bro. Like delete all of it. Go to the delete it and then delete the delete. Delete the delete before I beat the jacket off you, bro. I'm telling you. Tail, wait. No, it's not. Go to your delete. Go, get out. You gotta go. Get out. Get out before I beat you the fuck up. Get out. Get the fuck out. Get out right now. Get the fuck out. Get out. Get out. Delete it out your phone. Delete it out your phone.
What y'all think?
Damn, that was scary. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, he was justified. How y'all doing?
What's up? What's up, Jimmy?
Hi.
Yeah, man. He was justified. There's a lot of sickos out here, bro.
Yeah, it seemed like, hey, but you know what? We call people sickos, but we in a sicko country. Remember the age of consent map? Somebody put, I don't know if did I save it or did I retweet it? The age
I think in one of them states is like 12.
Yeah, age of consent map is crazy right now, family.
But that's because of the Mormons and like some of them people in the, in them real white like little societies. They like doing that stuff. It's crazy.
This was crazy.
You came on to put shoes
Come on.
and shorts out the same?
Come on, bitch.
I think he was
a fucking punk ass fucking spear chucker. He got no balls.
He says spear chucker.
What's up? What? Watch out, man. You're a fucking nigger. Waiting on you. You look like you just smoked some dope.
Watch he get his ass.
Waiting on you.
Come on, what's up? You really scared?
Scared? I wouldn't be in the street, nigga.
All right, come on.
I wouldn't be in the street.
Come on.
I'm waiting for you to make a mistake so I can bounce you. Come on.
You don't have to wait on
Come
me.
on.
I'm at work.
You're
not at work.
Step on that property, see what happens.
I don't have
Put
to,
one step
bro.
on it.
I'm not putting a step on your property.
You know better,
Call
boy.
police.
They're already on the way, man. I'm just trying to keep you here.
Okay, cool.
Go ahead.
Keep me here.
You know what? You ain't got no balls.
Really?
That's
I'm
right.
right here in front of your face, though.
Go ahead.
And I'm at work. What's up?
Make a move.
What you trying to do? What you trying to do? What you trying to do?
You're a punk ass. You ain't got no balls. Do something.
Y'all see this shit, bro?
Do something.
Yeah.
Skinny ass fucking crackhead. That's all you are.
Wow. What you trying to do?
Do something.
You're right. You're right. Come on.
Do something.
You're right.
Here, I'm in your face.
My
Come
chin
on.
right here.
Here I am.
My chin
Right here.
Come on.
Go ahead. That's a shot. Come on. Come on. Now it's on.
White boy think he Jackie Chan, huh?
Yes. Yes. Come on.
Nothing beats a Jet2 holiday. And right now, you can save £50 per person. That's £200 off for a family.
Boom. Knock him out. Boom. Boom. Boom.
You know what? That's what he gets. And it's something wrong with white people in general, some of them, because they act like bullies. They've been bullying people for the longest. And this right here, even though it looked bad, I'm glad he checked them.
He lucky he ain't stomp him out though, because boy,
he deserved worse than that.
Yeah, he could have been in the hospital.
Yep. I'm tired of these bully ass white people that got these people behind them that feel like they could do whatever, whatever they want to do. Shit crazy.
This is Mika, your favorite part of the show. This gentleman was dating two women and he got caught out there, man.
He was dating. That's his fault because he should have told both of them. He should have told both of them, "No, let's do this," instead of hiding it.
Sometimes we don't have the heart to tell y'all, man.
Well,
Surprise.
that's your problem.
This is who you wanted, right?
Where was you at last night?
Right?
I told you.
This is who you lied to me about last night, right? Right?
Look, guilty as hell.
Right, JR?
You disappeared for 30 minutes after you got done doing what?
This is who ass you was eating last night, right?
You definitely ate my pussy last night, didn't you?
On her period as that.
No,
Still,
that's
she told you was on her period, right?
I was off. I just,
And then you act like you didn't know what I was talking about when I showed you the text message, right? Huh? I like it. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I'm glad I told you so.
Keep it real, because I never said I wanted to have a relationship with you. If you just want to fuck, that's all you had to say.
All you had to tell me was you wanted to fuck with her.
And every time I came around, I asked you, was you still dealing with who? Her, right?
Oh, they need to watch Captain Tazaryach class, man.
You see what the problem was? He started out with a lie. They said all you had to do was tell me. Let them choose. Men, let the women choose if they want to be in that type of situation. Don't put them in there and be like, okay, now you gotta take it. Because if we put you in a situation like that, y'all ready to kill somebody. So y'all need to do better.
Did you know jerk chicken started as a survival tactic in Jamaica's mountains? The Maroons escaped slavery and smoked wild boar using African techniques. They blended native Arawak herbs like pimento with African spices. This smoky method preserved meat and kept flies away. Pure innovation. The word jerk comes from charqui, a Peruvian word for dried meat. Boston Beach is still jerk's holy ground. Fires on pimento wood, beachside huts. Scotch bonnet, thyme, scallion, and allspice. Every spice grows.
It was actually jerk pork that they made first.
Jerk.
Yeah.
Is that
Well, that's what he said. He said boar.
Oh.
Oh, that's what he said. Okay, I didn't hear that. Jerk chicken. I'm talking about jerk chicken. Let me see what else I want to play right here.
But it's a mixed culture, the food. Cause India, you know, they put their curry. It's like mixed. Even they got Chinese in there, in Jamaica now.
Reparations is not just about money. There are many other ways of making reparations. What about the cultural institutions? What about the public health crisis that exists in some of our countries? What about illiteracy eradication? What about the psychological rehabilitation that is required? What about technology transfer? What about debt cancellation? In our countries in the Caribbean, 50% of all of our budget goes towards the payment of debt. And why was that debt incurred? To put in place all of the infrastructure and the requirements to allow our countries to come into we're in the 21st century now, aren't we? Into the 21st century. So, one of the things that is required is an apology. An apology for what was a systematic and sustained pattern of enslavement that was preserved and fiercely protected for centuries. It must be coupled with a willingness to engage former colonies on the matter and have a frank but open discussion about the issue and what is at stake. Reparations is not just about money. There are many other ways of making reparations.
What y'all think about that?
She's from the Caribbean.
Yeah, she's speaking about Caribbean reparations.
Oh, but they got their reparation already.
No, they didn't.
Oh, they did? Oh, I thought they did.
I thought it was like a Scottish company that just paid money.
They paid Jamaica, but the people ain't get the money. The government got the money.
Well, that's what's going to happen in America too, right? Who's going to get the money?
What do you think about that? What do you think about that, James?
Actually, I probably should have an opinion on it because both my parents from the Caribbean. So, but they're not from Jamaica. They're from Trinidad. I mean, yeah, it needs to be institutions. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff that could be reparated. Well, they could come in the form that doesn't have to be money. I mean, I'm not looking for a check. If there's some type of programs that help us progress, I would rather have that where they have long lasting. Because if we just get money, we're just going to spend it on dumb shit.
No, people keep saying that. That's when they gave the Jewish.
Not everybody. Not everybody.
Yeah, but
My
when
bad.
they gave
I'm sorry.
the Jews their money, I mean, how did they give it to them? Anybody know?
Well, Israel. But then again, that's not a religious. But that's not a religious thing. That's more of a political thing.
No,
How
I'm
that
talking
whole
about
thing.
the Jews. You know that been through the Holocaust and all that. They got
Right.
reparation. So how did they get their money? Did they get it through? Did they get like a little pension or something? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Oh, okay.
And Germany would have had to pay that out.
Mm.
But what Germany should have did is actually give them land somewhere in Germany.
Mm.
That's what they really should have did. But they didn't want to. They just ship them off to over there, so it's not their problem anymore. That's really what that whole thing was about. So we're
listen to this woman regarding let's look at this woman right here. She talked about the reparations thing, and she put a dagger to the whole argument, man. And we could discuss it. I'm not saying I'm for or against what she's saying, but check her out.
Just a few seconds.
The practice of slavery was legal. We need to remember that governments did not own slaves. Slave owners did. In fact, the US government fought a war to end slavery. How much should the descendants of the 400,000 Union soldiers who lost their lives fighting to free the slaves pay to the descendants of the slaves they freed? It's bizarre to suggest that human beings should inherit the outrage of the deeds of their parents. Should the child born from a rapist be branded a rapist because of his father's criminality? Should the child of a mass murderer be sent to prison because of his father's crime? No. In America, in the main, it was the Democrats who owned slaves, and the Democrats who in the main passed and enforced Jim Crow laws. It was also the Democrats who founded the Ku Klux Klan. Should the current Democratic Party be held responsible for this? No. We do not inherit the sins of our fathers.
This woman ended the reparations debate in just a few seconds.
The practice of slavery was legal. We need to remember that governments did not own slaves. Slave owners did. In fact, the US government fought a war to end slavery. How much should the descendants of the 400,000 Union soldiers who lost their lives fighting to free the slaves pay to the descendants of the slaves they freed? It's bizarre to suggest that human beings should inherit the outrage of the deeds of their parents. Should the child born from a rapist be branded a rapist because of his father's criminality? Should the child of a mass murderer be sent to prison because of his father's crime? No. In America, in the main, it was the Democrats who owned slaves, and the Democrats who in the main passed and enforced Jim Crow laws. It was also the Democrats who founded the Ku Klux Klan. Should the current Democratic Party be held responsible for this? No. We do not inherit the sins.
Yeah, that's a biblical thing about inheriting the sins of the father. But
Right.
what do y'all think about that conversation?
I mean, no, you go ahead, Mika. My bad.
No, I don't know. I don't know what to say about that.
Her argument is this. She's pretty much saying that slavery was legal at the time. So
Right.
So you see, this is why what Malcolm X was doing was kind of important, because Malcolm X was trying to bring it to the United Nations so you could sanction. Because for you to even get money from the people, if you notice what the lady said, the Caribbean lady talking about the Caribbean reparations, she said first you need an apology. You got to acknowledge that you did wrong. I don't know if the go. I think under Obama, I think they had an apology for slavery. I think they did. I'm not sure.
What is apology gonna do? Say you sorry.
It acknowledges that they did something
It's an
wrong.
admission of
okay,
guilt.
I got you.
Right.
Legally now,
Just keep it simple. Admission of guilt.
yeah.
But she's gaslighting.
Oh, she's gaslighting, Sean?
Yes, yes. First of all, I should not have to pay for the sins of my father. Okay, the sins of your father, the sins of your father increased your wealth and your supremacy by 250 years. I'm not going with 400 years. By 250 years. It gave you one of the most economic advantages against minorities in this country that were enslaved under those laws for years, which means that you're reaping the benefits of your father's crimes. So you don't want the responsibility of being deemed a criminal for the behavior of your forefathers, but yet you want to reap the benefits of that in which you ultimately win from. That's gaslighting. Because on one hand, you're saying, yeah, my dad did it, but. And then on the other end, you're saying, but I'm not going to share the money that we made off y'all with you because I'm not responsible for that.
So
You inherited that wealth. So once you inherit that wealth, you inherit that issue. It's that simple. There's no getting around that. You want to be able to not owe what you owe. You got free labor out of people who sacrificed themselves. And then you want to talk about the Union War? People fighting to free the slaves? They were not fighting to free the slaves. This was an economic shift. The South said, I don't want to industrialize. The North saying, we need to industrialize because it's more profit. The South's like, no, I love my 100% profit. I want to pay for your machinery. I don't want to give up my man labor. I don't want to do any of that and then have to find something else to do with my slaves. And the North was like, nah, they can go ahead and just learn how to do everything else. No, they had a whole beef between themselves, fighting over the movement of the Americas, or the America specifically. It had nothing to do with the slaves.
The only time that we were involved in the movement in this whole war was when they said, oh, we're losing, so we'll give you freedom so that we could win.
But I got a question though. Isn't this a problem for foundational white Americans or Americans who are not descendant of the European immigrants coming in from like the mid 1800s to the
Great question.
Yeah.
Well, you got to go back because a lot of them they immigrated with the E to America in the 1600s in large portions, but that continued, as you stated, in the 1800s. So all of them are liable for it because they had, remember, they were taking people from Africa and sending them to Europe. So many of them that even came over here, even though they didn't, some of them didn't have means and contracted out, they still owe. I don't care who it is because they inherited a sovereignty in an instance, if I could use that word.
But
They
it was only
inherited
like the nobles and stuff that had that, and they weren't used for usually like slave labor. They were kind of like pets.
Before we go in that direction, somebody put a comment in the chat which I thought was interesting. This is why reparations shouldn't be based solely on slavery. They should be based on Jim Crow, redlining, and all the systematic barriers that happened.
I agree.
I agree.
Because you can get that.
Watch this. Let me ask Sean this because this is something that's confusing for a lot of people, the reparations argument. Reparations is a hype, gaslighting topic. If you want to get a lot of views on YouTube, you write about reparations because it means a lot to Black people in general, just on GP, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, who do you go after? Because if you look at it, right, family, you got the Portuguese involved with transportation. You have the Spanish over them who gave them permission, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then you have the insurance companies who have to insure every Black body that's taken. AIG, all of them. Then you had Chase, over
brokered,
other banks who were actually involved in it. So I'm saying, who do you go after? Because bear in mind, there's no U.S. government at the time in 15, whatever, and coming up, right? So I'm saying, who do we go after?
Okay, it starts in with the European nations. You don't cross the water yet.
Time out. Afro-Caribbean, do me a favor. Just turn off the your background. Let's turn on your background. All right, thanks. Go ahead, Sean.
Okay, it starts with the European nations. So it is we charge everyone involved in the beginning, right? So that this does not escape the Arabs. But this directly, I'm speaking directly about what we're doing. We charged the Portuguese first. They were the first European country, right? So speaking only on the European countries, they were the first. We charged the Portuguese, then the Spanish, then we just go down the line, the British. We just go all the way down the line and we charge every one of them. No one can escape this. They all had a hand in it. And then directly we go after specifics, the companies that were built behind it, the Royal African Dutch and Dutch companies. We go after them directly, right? And people that are tied to them, meaning the founding fathers of those companies who built other entities and were successful in that. Then we break this down all the way down till we get to the slave owners and the head of those slave owners, right? Because those are things that we could prove. We can't go after what we can't prove. So we have to go directly with what the evidence provides us to argue it. And then that's the way it's got to go. It's not it's all European nations got to crumble behind this. It's not, oh, we just coming after the people in America that start buying and selling and trading slaves. No. It's everybody, because there was an impact from, and this is what the FBAs don't like, but there was an impact from South America to Central America into North America. So that has to calculate as something, because a lot of us, that they don't want to admit it, But a lot of our earlier ancestors who were Americanized were funneled in from South and Central America into North America. So calling people tellers is one of the stupidest things I've ever heard of in my life, because there is a direct link of them funneling people in from South America, Central America into North America, and them being here since that point. They were not here before that. So it's got to be evidence-based, and we charge the we charge the European nations. Then we come after all the companies, all the banks. We leverage at that. But reparations can't be about just money. It's got to be school, food, clothing, and shelter. So it's got to hit every parameter, and healthcare. So it's got to hit every parameter so that people can actually build on it. Now, it's just a dream. We all know these white people ain't apologizing. And we all know that we're just fishing. But one day something's going to break through the cracks if we get it right. But too many splinter groups and social media is fucking the whole group up. Excuse my language.
Hey, Sean, to your funneling point, we need to highlight that by the time you get into the Civil War, slave owners are funneling their slaves back into South America and Latin America
Right.
to maintain slavery.
Right.
There's a community in Brazil. It's crazy.
Yep, and that's how they built. That's how they continue to build their wealth, and that's the part of it that we ain't even went back to that though. We ain't even got back to that point of, okay, so what about the white people sending them back to South and Central America to continue that slave method? We ain't even got to that.
And she was talking about how the government is not responsible, but they did garner taxes through slavery also. So you got to take that into consideration.
That is a direct effect of the government being involved. Once you tax the product, once you tax it and you're making money off of it, you're liable and responsible. Your policies provided it. You got amendments. You got amendments that are directed toward who could enslave someone. The government is involved in that. Like y'all can't, blacks can't enslave whites.
The government absolutely regulated slavery, so they are involved. And let's not forget, this is called the peculiar institution of slavery. It's actually a business. And let's not forget that people run businesses. So, you have to, tax the government and people, hold them responsible.
Right. And you got the Fugitive Slave Act. So what was that? Because that was...
Can I jump in for a second?
Yeah, go ahead.
By the way, Africa,
so,
man, what's your name, brother?
Afro-Caribbean.
Okay, all right, go ahead, man.
Yeah, so this is my opinion, right? I really feel for Black Americans, but I don't think it's ever going to happen, and I'm going to tell you why. There's a few reasons why. We're not
having that conversation. We're talking about who would be responsible for paying for reparations. I don't care if it's going to happen.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to address.
That's not what we're talking about.
My position is that there is no one that is responsible for it in this day and age.
Okay.
And I'll explain why. Can I explain why?
Please
don't go ahead, explain. You don't have to agree with
it. Please don't come with the Bible. Please.
No, I wouldn't do that. No,
he didn't even say that yet, Garfield.
No, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that.
When you say somebody's not responsible, they always come with this Bible prophecy.
But you didn't give him a chance to even say nothing.
Okay, go ahead.
Mika, you gotta stop.
All right. So this is my So I got a few points, right? I'm gonna play devil's advocate. I'm gonna give you a few points.
Nah, see, that's the thing, bro. We don't need to do that. We ain't trying to play games, bro.
Okay. I'll say it like this. Right? So, if the white man is responsible for reparations, right? Then my thing is this: the money that they made off slavery, right? Went back into the U.S. economy. You follow so far? So far, right? Okay. Did not all Americans benefit from this economy?
Get his ass off the panel.
I'll leave it at that.
No, not all Americans, because it's disenfranchisement. So we don't have the rights as all same Americans.
Okay.
Remember, you're 3 fifths. You're 3 fifths. You need
Okay,
a whole
this is,
person.
That was a good try. Okay.
This is Brother Reggie. So, hey, peace to the family. How y'all doing?
What up, we're good, Brother Reggie.
Peace, Reggie.
You're back home. Everybody.
Yeah,
Peace, Reggie.
welcome back.
You back
We
home. You
welcome
back
you.
home, Reggie. You back
welcome
home. Hey, I never really left. I just took a vacation.
Talk about it. Talk about it.
I took a vacation, but I'm definitely back. All right. So what's happening with reparations is that after the Pelman Farmer case, Judge Posner ruled several different things. He said that a harm to the ancestors is not a harm to yourself, right? So what he did was he could have done sanctions. He could have done everything. He dismissed the federal reparations case. So then they realized that the reparations have to be done in cities and counties. And so it became a local reparations movement. That's where it is right now. So any person talking about they can't give reparations doesn't know what they're talking about at all, right? So now what's happening is that now the governments that are creating reparation studies, those governments, I'm talking about local governments or majority, let's say a majority Black population and mixed Black population. So it's happening in those areas. The problem is that FBA and ADOS, they're the ones who don't want you to get reparations. Those two groups. Why? Because they're asking the government to do something in a way in which they can't do it. It's not that they can't give reparations. It's that the ADOS and FBA is trying to tell the government, you have to do it by lineage-based, ancestry-based, right? And the government says we can't do that because of the equal protection laws. Because when we do it and we grant someone based on a race or ancestry, then the equal protection advocates will sue on the equal protection clause. So they're asking the government to do something in a way in which they can't do it. What we don't understand is that our current harm is probably is worth as much or more right now, right? What they have been doing to populations that happen to be Black, right? What they're doing to us now is much more valuable than even tracking slavery into it. I hope you can understand. When they're doing eminent domain, when they are doing discriminating against housing, when they are changing voter structures, when they are doing all of these health issues that one population benefits and another population doesn't benefit, right? When they're doing these loans and the government is allowing these loans to be disproportionately given based on population, that is probably worth more now than even tracking in ancestral slavery, right? So it's a harm-based movement is going to succeed, not tracking it to our ancestors, right? Because Posner said a harm to our ancestors is not a harm to us. We must show harm. And what happened with the Pelman Farmer case is simple. She couldn't even track herself to the people who she was claiming were harmed. So she was a bad plaintiff. Posner noted that. And a lot of us, one of the works that we do on these shows, like Garfield, look, we talk about our own ancestry, right? And if you don't know what you don't know your great grandmother's name, your great grandpa, and you calling him Mr. Charlie, right? Her name was Big Mama. Then you're not a plaintiff. We can't use you because you don't even know your own goddamn history. You didn't replace Your ancestors were Jacob, Isaac, Joseph, Moses, right? And all these other religious names, right? People that were thousands of years ago. Those are your ancestors. They really got us. We can't show harm, and I'm gonna stop.
Hold
We
on.
can't.
Hold on. Thank you. Good job, Reggie. Good job. Good job. Good job.
Thank you.
Who's next? Who's next? Gunshot. Who's next?
No, I agree with Reggie. You in that argument, if you take that approach, it's more subtle and it's more direct. And the way he ended it about if all you saying is Big Mama, that's a shame because Big Mama had a name, and you need to know, you need to find out what that name was. You know what I'm saying? So it's direct, but again, Reggie's been dealing with this argument for quite some time, so then he's more astute to argue it, and I see why he would change the position. Because that's what it sounds like to me, that you changed your position and where you were years ago on this argument based on how the courts and have been moving on the subject.
Well, I haven't changed my position. I adapted the position because I always realized that
I'm sorry, that's what I'm adapted. Yeah, a change is a bad word.
Yeah, we should all adapt. What happens is that when it moved from federal, when HR 40 and the next one got no attention, right? Even to study reparations, local governments said we'll study it. Those local governments have to happen to be majority Black populated cities, right? And they had the government officials to at least address it. And they started more than 20 studies. The problem is that most of those studies got paused because these equal protection groups started suing governments, city governments and county governments that were trying to implement reparations. And so let me see, Evanston, they're waiting to try to sue California, right? Because you can't use these loaded conclusory words like ancestry, anything Black, anything. You can't use that directly. What you can do is show a population that has been harmed. So then I realized by reading the case law, because the case law changes, and then if you have to follow the case law. So you have to follow out what are the particular plaintiffs against reparation, what are they saying? And it's real easy. Don't use those words. Don't use no foundational Black, whatever. That's not, you're going to get thrown out because the equal protection. Don't use ADOS, American descendants of. No, you have to show harm to yourself, which we can all show harm to
So
ourselves.
Reggie, how was using those terms go against like equal protection? Like, what is the issue with those terms and equal protection?
Okay, thank you. All right, so once you use those words, anybody can look this up, right? It's called, what happens is the government, you're asking the government to award some benefits to you based on your race. That triggers something called strict scrutiny, where strict scrutiny, once that is charged to the government that's given awards, the government is assumed to be incorrect. Now, the government that wants to give you awards, they now have to say that there's a compelling reason why they should award. And if it's overbroad, like ancestry or Black, right? Those things are overbroad right now. Then what happens is that then you have to tailor, they have to tailor awards to a particular group that has been harmed. So it can't be a catch-all phrase. So catch-all phrases don't have plausibility.
So, and you said instead of using those terms, use terms like you can show which populations were affected. But to me, that seems like a really broad, term also. So
Absolutely
what language?
not.
what language would you replace it? Because let's say we do go into court and say like what the population of this city was affected
Yes.
by, you know, okay.
And who lives in that, and whoever lives in that area, right, they have been affected. For example, so if you do, let's say, a 50-year study, 50-year study, you have families, you have particular families and individuals that have been harmed by banking loans, redlining, uh, bad policing.
Yeah, redline is easy for people in the city. It's very, very easy. I said approving redlining is very easy.
Yes. Yeah. So then you can identify a population, and then from that population, the people, which some of them are still alive, but some of them are, know exactly what happened to their parents. The people now that have been redlined, right, or discriminated directly, those people, we know who those people are. What all we're trying to do is we know what stops us from getting reparations, and so we have to be smart enough in law to say to do two things. The term is called disparate impact, right? If anybody reads law, but we can identify, and then the city has to now fix what they did to that particular population. And you would say, well, these are the residents. We're only going to give the residents awards who have been there for the last 25 years. If you ain't been in there 25 years, your family, you can't show any residency, descendancy in 25 years. Sorry, we can't give you award. And that is right, because then you're focusing on these cities instead of people who are moving into these cities, because these cities are doing better. So if they haven't been there for 25 years, there's nothing that the city can give. Go to another city, or stay in this city for 25 years, right? But the fact of the matter is, we are smart enough, but we're being misled by ADOS and FBAs, who is asking the government to give us something in a way in which the government can give.
So Reggie,
yes.
I'm sorry. Were you finished?
No, I always interactive.
All right. So here's my question, because whenever you say things like that, and whenever I look at those cases too, I see the same thing. People going in there asking for reparations on grounds that they can't gain it on. So here's my question, because it's happened several times. Can't those people mess it up for the rest of us? Because once cases get thrown out on certain grounds, you can't bring it back into the court system. So in a way, can it be deliberate that some people may be going in there messing up these cases on purpose so we can't come back and get action? Is that a possibility?
That is absolutely what's happening. It's called creating cases with bad law. So what the Pellman farmer did, again, she couldn't even tie her own ancestors to the people that was harmed by the banks, right?
Say that again.
Pellman farmer, Deirdre Pellman farmer, who was the chief plaintiff of the last reparations case, when all the other reparation cases was consolidated into her case. Other cases had better, how can I say, better harm-based approaches, better harm. But they selected her case to go to look at in federal court, and then they went to the appellate court, and the appellate court stopped it and said some things they had never said before. A harm to an ancestor is not a harm to you, right? And then they started talking about other things like statute of limitations. That was the case that ruined federal reparation, unless it's specific to a family like Malcolm X or Tuskegee. I mean, not Tuskegee. Tulsa, right? Tulsa unfortunately filed it the wrong way, so hopefully they will come back in a federal. But that's harm to a particular family or particular group that you can show harm, but those won't benefit all of us. So if you're looking at city, state, and local, then we know who those people are, and we know over the last 25, 50 years how they have been harmed by the government. So now the government has a compelling reason to fix the harm that it sanctioned, right, in those particular places. But it's not for everybody, right? It's for the families that were harmed in those particular areas, right? But then we get better precedent. But to answer to your question, the Pelham Farmer case actually set us back, because then they could put in words like strict scrutiny, and they could talk about ancestral cases, and so bad law sets us back. So you're absolutely right, due diligence. They select cases that they could make these rulings on. Now, I know this because I did a federal lawsuit, and Judge Castile, who was Gotti's lawyer, he ruled in my particular case is that I had sued my employer before I got fired, and that wasn't adverse enough, right? So there's 121 citations on what happened to me in federal court. So he dismissed it without prejudice. However, he hinted in that they couldn't give me supplemental, they wouldn't look at my city rights. So they didn't want to give me supplemental jurisdiction. So then people didn't like what happened to Reginald Mabry. So then what they did is other cases tested that, and they added information on how you could prevail in federal court based on Castile's record. So sometimes cases have to come later, right, to fix bad rulings and sometimes bad law, but it has to be done. It has to be done right. So now if you sued the way I sued and added the new thinking of the court, if you read the court, what the court says, now you don't have to get dismissed without prejudice like me. Your case can live in federal court. But I have more rights in state and city anyway. So I just refiled in state and city, right? Because it wasn't done with prejudice. And so it is what it is, between the parties, me and the defendants, right? So that's water under the bridge. But what due diligence is saying, and which is he's helping me, is because cases like that create bad law. So it was like the Moors, not necessarily all the Moors, but the Moors is doing that sovereign citizenship, that UCC. Well, they caught up with them after a while, and then they put in latches. They says, okay, you want to sue without, how can I say, you want to sue without fees because you're under the poverty line? Well, guess what? You can't do that now. We think right off the bat what you're saying is frivolous. So now you're gonna have to pay for your suit, right? So you just can't go in and sue farmers, right? That you're poor. No, now you got to pay. Then they have so many cases now saying if you come in and you mention any of these terms, it's frivolous. Mention it. Once you mention it, they got case law to say it's frivolous. You're on your way to dismissal. So these, if you track, okay, what has, this is my opinion, so that they don't sue me. What have they successfully done, ADOS and FBA, in terms of reparations besides talking? What have they done? Are they in any of the committees? Have they written anything? Have they?
Nah, they're just online talking.
There you go. So they're not part of it. a peace, brother La. They're not. So they're not part of the reparations movement. They're part of the public opinion that gets that calls our elected officials and bullies them and says, no, it got to be lineage based. It got to be lineage based. It got to be for.
I don't even think they do. I don't think they're doing that as well. They got like they're creating new arguments. But I mean, what I mean by that, Rich, is let's be honest. FBA and ADOS aren't the same. They're two separate groups of people. You have people that are FBA that are claiming to be Indians or natives or black Indians or indigenous. Like they have not a single argument, right?
Right. I wish your mic was clearer, but right.
My bad, y'all was
So now the stupid argument in this Garfield would like this is that how many white people are actually descendants, watch this, of African slaves or African enslaved? How many white people got a pappy or a mama?
Facts.
Right? Right? Because and they could be like the $5 Indians. How many white people have
Right.
been passing? Huh?
Yeah, they definitely are not doing that like the $5 Indian. That's definitely fact.
So the question is when you think that you get in a war for reparations and you think is just going to be what you call typically black people, there are going to be a lot of people that come up and they're going to say, no, my pappy was my great pappy, he was black. And that allows them to get reparations under this bad thinking of ancestry. No, you got to do harm-based. You have to actually show, okay, so you're this person who said you're a descendant of Africans who were enslaved, but you live on the other side of the tracks. So you weren't harmed. So guess what? You don't get no reparations. You don't get no repair because you're already living on the other side of the tracks. We're interested in people who's living on this side of the tracks, right? So how can I say, and in the arguments about so-called immigrants, there's only 6 million African and Caribbean immigrants that they count, right? So you're gonna fight against 6 million, but you're not gonna fight against the 65 million Latino immigrants. You're gonna make a big deal of 6 million people who are not even really organized and asking for your reparations. I should get a bomb for that. Their whole movement is finding somebody in Nigeria or Gabon or
right. Which is irrelevant. You gotta get him a bomb, yo. That bomb was whack.
No, his bomb was good. It was 3 seconds. I'll take a 3 second
3 minutes
bomb.
late.
So the whole movement is attacking people. Watch this. Who's not even asking for their reparations. They're finding it's like you going to the inner city and talking to a wino. Because somebody gets on YouTube and talks about their opinion, you're gonna make show after show after show about them. Like you gotta be you're doing that to mislead people.
More
right?
so, Reggie, not to break your train of thought, which I apologize for, Hotep, brother.
Peace.
I think it's more so.
Hold on, brother.
The
Hold on, brother. I got to give you a drum roll before you talk, brother. Go ahead, brother.
This motherfucker's crazy.
Thank you, brother. I think it's more so from the premise of beyond just the YouTube world. Most African Americans see this as an opportunity to get some money. Let's just call it for what it is. The
Most
same way we
African
got stimulus
Americans
checks.
are not asking for reparations. Most so-called African Americans is too busy knowing that they got to put food on the table for their families, and they're not sitting and waiting. They would like it, but they're not in the process of advocating for it.
Indeed, I concur with you on that. But in the same token, Reggie, you also have to take into consideration that we don't have anybody implemented on behalf of our interests and our needs. ARCAs, for the most part, in intricate areas where the architects are creating these laws.
Yes, we
And
do.
in fact,
Because there are elected officials in our areas. So you have in New York City, for example, a commission, a New York City commission, and you have in Co-op City, where I reside, and I know you know about it. I testified when they came to, they had a hearing in Co-op City, the state. Yes, we have lots of advocates. And guess what? In New York City, what they won't tell you is that a lot of people in the New York City Council that passed the study for reparations and the New York State, or guess what? They're African Americans, but they're also Caribbean ancestry. So you can't, their attacks is stupid because if it wasn't for our Caribbean, our African Caribbean elected officials, it wouldn't have passed in New York State and New York City, but they call them tethers. So now they're going against the people who are elected officials, who are in our interests, right? Who look like us, and they're misleading you, because you can just look at who's on the New York City Council. All these representatives from Brooklyn and Queens, some from the Bronx, they are Caribbean descendants, Caribbean family descendants. So they have been lying to you to push an agenda of nothing, because they don't know law. But yes, law, we are.
But can you also say, in regards to pushing towards laws that are not going to be passed, is for the simple fact of, on their back end, there is payola involved.
No, that's the funny thing is, because that's the other thing is, some people want a flat check. Other people are smart enough to say, if this generation can get it, we want generational reparations, not no dollar that's devaluing anyway, right? Most people who are the architects of this, they know it's about fixing the problems, the harm, and money can't always directly fix that. Policies have to fix that.
Right.
Yes,
that's why we need free healthcare in schools.
Huh?
You give them things that are tangible, that'll be able to, you teach them to fish. So you need free healthcare and housing. That's why I say food, clothing, and shelter. It's not necessarily, about $1, because law. You know, and I know, because you just said it. Most of them just want a check. And what are they going to do with the check? They're going to blow it, right? They're going to blow it. So that's not going to benefit, right? That's not going to benefit the longevity of what Reggie's arguing. He's saying, no, after that, we want generational wealth, because then we can solve more problems right down the line. These people that are sitting here and they can think like they're broke, but they have created an institution for generational wealth that lasts way beyond their years, and there's no catching them. That's why you have these systems that are in place for these children to keep going to these higher education institutions and then making something out of nothing, and they're not even qualified to do half the work that other people are doing. But yet that head start that they have gives them the ability to be able to do that. So no, we have to, reparations from my view, my vantage point, is food, clothing, and shelter. Schools, hospitals is included in that, right? Because I think every Black person deserves a house, a car, free healthcare. This probably piss some people off that don't like it, and all of that stuff. The rest of that we can get on our own. Right? The rest of that we can get on our own. But imagine that head start. People don't realize you have people living in apartments. They're not making no money off these apartments they've been living in for a lifetime. But if they got a piece of real estate
and a piece of land out there, and with a house on that, right? That's the quickest way to create and generate generational wealth for your family, because when you pass on, if your kids sell that house, it's worth way more than they ever had before that.
Correct.
But they also have to have the education and the wherewithal to know
and
to hold
that's
on
where I was about to,
to
and that's
assets.
what I was just about to say, Sean P. You have to take into consideration that most knowledge and information that is gained by a lot of black folks, they don't go to the library. They don't go places to want to search for the information and read. They'll get it from Garfield's channel or go to anybody's channel on YouTube.
Not anybody's channel. Go to Garfield's channel, but not everybody's channel. Can't go to everybody's channel to get information. Shit.
Reggie, I concur with you, but the fact still remains that gathering information essentially on your own and doing the research on your own is now somewhat perplexed
So
in a
those
sense.
people are not the architects. See, the architects know that if they award something that's not narrowly tailored, they will get sued. So the architects, what they're doing is they're thinking about it, and you can look at how many reparation studies have been paused because of the new laws. They've simply been paused because they have to watch the laws. So
paused, parked. Let's just call it for what it is. It's parked.
Oh,
and
yeah,
if you sit there for too long from being parked, what do? You get towed. Let's just call it for what it is.
No, it's a little bit more than that, because they're refashioning it to make it harm based, because they know that, like Sean concurs with me, that if they designate a particular population, right, that have been harmed, and it happens to be us, then we can move on that, right? It would be parked permanently, right, if we keep the lineage based ancestral talk. That was fly for a moment. It sounded good. It got our people in our emotions, right? But it in law is proven there's not one successful ancestry base. That's the proof. Not one, right? They can't point to one, but we can point to harm-based awards. So if I can point to harm-based awards, and they can't point to one ancestry award, right? Then they lose, I win. We win.
I think another issue we have to contend with, that I think we gotta stop being naive to, is like the power structure. In essence, asking for reparations is asking the United States to boost up, some of the working class people, and it will affect the power dynamics. And if you know anything about law, you know that, especially on the federal level, the United States can't rule against the interests of the United States. And if you know who the United States are, then you actually know. So essentially what I'm saying is that them doing that will disrupt the power dynamics, and they want to keep it where it's at. And this is just an opinion of mine, right? Like, we're asking people to like potentially put themselves in a inferior position whenever they bolster us up to their level through reparations, through generational wealth. And I think that is against the United States interest and something that they probably wouldn't do.
Well, I disagree.
Whoa.
But I disagree with that. I don't mean to cut in. I just got in, but that what you brought up is what I wanted to talk about, because y'all was talking about what's important, what kind of aspects, what kind of mechanics that are needed for us to, really get to a better level. Reparations is old. Reparations is, I came to your house, I killed a family member, I stole all your money, all your jewelry, everything you got, I stole it. And I sat right in front of you and enjoyed it, smiling at you. And when you came by to say hello, I went in your pocket and stole something else and smacked you, and you couldn't do nothing about it. I did it to your great-grandfather, your grandfather. I did it to your sister, your brother, and I'm about to do it to you again. Why? Because I can. I could get real smoky on this, but I'm not. I'm just going to keep going. Reparations is old on a massive level. Reparations is old deeply in blood. Jesus Christ will come down and say, y'all owe him reparations. I'm saying the Mother Teresa. I don't care who you bring down. They'll say. But let me land my plane. Let me land my plane.
But you can't say something that's wrong, because Jesus said a slave to burden.
Just let me land it. Let me land it. Let me land the plane. Let me land the plane. Reparations, if given, needs to be given structurally. It's old no matter what. As far as power dynamics, the government entity, when you say the government power, it's not the people who walk around with government status, government jobs, and government assignments. Like them very powerful Republicans right now. You can see how easy Donald Trump just came in and started kicking around and smacking them like little babies. People who want to do right by us can do the same thing. Okay, we had people up in there trying to do it, but we didn't help them. We just voted them in, and then when it was time to vote all the people in to give them that power that Trump got, we just sat on our hands. He won again. We won again because we sat on our hands.
I got.
You know?
You missed your runway. So let me just say this. Or you
Reg, but don't,
wait, no.
There has to be a certain type of aptitude that a man must take or a woman must take upon themselves to implement change.
Well,
you have
I
to
agree
want
with that.
change.
I agree with that. But James, what was the last reparations meeting you went to?
Why would I go to a reparations meeting?
You're wasting our time talking about it now. So
Why?
Because you're telling us. See, this is the problem with this is the problem with our people. You got a lot to say. I asked you what was the last reparations committee meeting, commission meeting, anything, and you say, why should I have to go to?
Right.
Why are you talking to me?
James, what he's basically
I'm trying to say, why would I have to go to a reparations meeting that you know about?
What do you mean that I know about that? You know about in your city, in your county, in your state.
I'm in another country. I work for the federal government.
In another country?
That's right. I work for the federal government in Germany.
Okay. So right now you are inactive, right?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not inactive.
You're inactive in the Black community.
What do you mean inactive in the Black community? Did you ask me any questions to qualify me?
You're not in the Black community. You're in Germany.
How am I not in the Black community?
James, are you in a Black American community right now?
I said I'm in Germany, but how am I not in the Black community? Do I have? So you're saying I have to live? Dude, are you saying that?
Bro. The United States, right? Good brother James, when you get back to the United States, right, then you could participate. Right now, you are.
How do you know I'm not participating? You just trying to go at me, bro. You didn't ask me anything.
No, I'm saying yes, I did. I asked you.
I know you did, but you asked me, bro. You asked me about one way of doing what you feel I need to do. How do you know? You didn't even give me a chance to tell you what I am doing.
Oh, okay? So what are you doing, James?
Man, we have many connections with military veterans who are Black and brothers who are in the military. We have all kinds of things that we work on. Are you serious?
No, James,
we got people who could. No, bro, let me finish. You went on, bro. Come on, show me some love. I show you some love. You show me some love. We have people who could pick up the phone and call senators and get them on the phone, not just go to an answering machine. Okay, we got people who could pick up the phone and call people like Roland Martin, who's all over the place. We got connections. Okay, you don't have to live in a what? When you say Black neighborhood, what exactly do you mean by that?
A community that you can advocate for, that you are living in, that you can show harm.
What do you mean living in? Are you talking about the hood?
I'm talking. It doesn't have to be the hood.
I hope so, because a lot of people do that. I felt funny asking, but I got to make sure I'm doing that, because I got into it with somebody who said that too. Yeah, they were like, he said a hood is a Black community.
James,
well, go ahead though.
James, the problem is I actually go to the meetings. I actually write. I actually testify. I testified in 2001 and I testified in 2025. Right. And I'm just trying to let the public know that ADOS and FBA have not achieved anything. Now, I'm not saying that you haven't achieved anything. I just asked a question, but I'm just trying to say that with due diligence.
Here's the thing.
Due diligence asked me, could people be guiding us, right, to create bad precedents? And I said yes. So now while I'm on here, since I actually do some of this work, I at least have a published article, Reparations is Dead, How to Resurrect It, right? It's a published article, you can read it. So I read, write, I research. So I'm more
Okay,
pragmatic.
fair enough. Let me ask you, what is the number one way to get reparations on the right track for us to actually achieve it?
Oh, make it harm-based, make it specific to harms that we could identify for.
No, how to get it. How to get it. That's how to present the work. That's how to present the paperwork to whoever's in power that can actually make it happen. But what is the main method of actually getting action started for real in real time? Like they're actually negotiating how to get the money on a congressional floor.
Listen, I actually talked to them, right? So the first thing is that, okay, the commissions have been started, the studies have been started in our communities. So what they're looking for is that they're looking for great cases, great information, and so they are the ones, they're the architects of it. So it has to be to them, right?
Who's the architects?
The commissioners.
The architects of the information that is used to calculate what is owed, right?
The commissioners in the cities, states, and counties that are formulating the reparation arguments and awards because they are part of the government.
Okay, so once all that work is done, and much of it has been done, then what is the number one method that is needed to employ?
They are the government. They're the ones.
No, what would the government do?
The government would dispense how reparations is given or awards, or they will decide on how it's delivered.
Right. But before they do that, it has to actually get going in Congress. So what I'm just going to tell you.
See, now you messed up. I said local, city, and state. So city and state governments, not Congress, right? Not Congress. The city and state governments, right, are already invested in this, and they are already researching.
So statewide.
Create
so you're talking about
that they can give to the people.
Now, you're talking about
the state or are we talking about the Fed?
Hey, first of all, James, I appreciate you for your service in the armed forces, brother. And we should never have a negative connotation towards whatever you do as far as what you bring to the table. So I think we should move in a different direction. We got 20 more minutes and I'm out of here.
Wait, can I show one thing?
Go ahead.
Can I show one thing? Now, here is something. Thank you so much, Garfield. I appreciate you. So here's something. Okay. Now listen to this. Share audio. Now listen to this. Right? And how do we deal with this? Right? I don't know if any of you have seen this, but
let me just say something, and then I'm gonna get off because I'm actually.
Wait, can you hear my video?
No,
I know, but we can. I just want to say something quick. I got to get back to work. I'm actually designing my own app, and every time they can hear, going to be able to make money off of it. But the reason why I was kind of getting to all that was when I think about reparations, when I say this needs to be a more structured method of giving reparations, and the reason why I challenge is statewide versus federal, which means the actual government and Congress is enacting, a case that we all get something. In other words, free healthcare for Black people, for foundational Black Americans, free education. Okay, no interest rate on home loans, things like that, and the list goes on and on. Like when that is the beginning, that is the phase one of real time reparations. Okay, not really a check, not exactly. In order to implement that, it can't be just statewide. It could be statewide because each state, and I can see it is happening. The federal government actually implements something like this, and each state will be able to allocate how they're gonna go about doing that. They're going to have, certain changes within the laws of how it's been originally
You said
written.
you FBA, bro. I ain't listening to nothing you said after that.
What?
I think that everybody on the panel agrees that reparations should be just more than a check. I don't think nobody would argue against that.
I know. But what I was saying was that when it's statewide, you got states that just like, hey, black people ain't getting nothing. So you're gonna see, if one state just says we're gonna go exactly how it's planned, so everybody's gonna get that. All of what I said, they're gonna get certain money, like until you're 18, you get like a certain check, stuff like that. Stimulus checks for cars, things like that.
Okay.
And some states would just say, no, we're not gonna do it like that. We're just gonna do this, and it's probably not even gonna go to black folks. They're probably gonna give it to Africans.
Okay.
So it can't just be straightforward on checks because they ain't gonna go to us.
Can you stop? Garfield, can you let me? He cut me off, right? He cut me off, and I want to continue because he's not part of reparations. He's giving his opinion. He's
hold on,
attacking
Reggie. Let's not downplay what he's doing. All right.
But he's attacking Africans for no reason.
Make your point, Reggie. Make your point. Don't worry about him. Make your point. All right. I'll put it on the screen. I think you're trying to share something. Go ahead. Do your thing.
So 5 years ago, right? 5 years ago. So the argument is not what America believes or knows, right? Because in 5 years ago, just listen to this. This is 5 years ago.
African Americans built this nation. We built this nation. You're just starting to get real credit for that. Okay, I don't know if you know that. You're just starting to you built the nation. We all built it, but you were such a massive part of it. Bigger than you were given credit for. Does that make sense? Right?
Now,
African.
So he says this, right? He says this. Architects, stop sharing. Architects of reparations have to understand how to use this, right? How to use the fact that yes, we built it, but we were harmed, right? So what, am I still sharing? Okay. So the question.
Yeah, we can't see the screen anymore. Nothing is up anymore.
We can't see the screen. We can't see anything.
Right. So I don't understand.
That's on
We just see black, man. We just see black.
I think.
Okay, great.
I think what you just presented is just for the. Go ahead.
So the
Reggie.
question
I'm
is.
sorry, brother.
So the question is, what a lot of people don't know is that governments are in city and state, right, and counties, and those governments are working for on behalf of reparations. So it's not federal, it's the local governments because they are how can I say, they are governments themselves. The federal government just makes sure that nothing that they do falls below the law, the line of their law. So, but when I talk to people and they don't seem to understand that there are reparation commissions that are working and that they are trying to implement it, they're just parked or paused because they have to implement it in a way in which they don't get sued by breaking the federal law. So when they distribute any type of award, it has to be based on harm base, which is the best argument, right, for a particular population that includes people, Africans who were enslaved, right? But there were, right, but it has to be for people living in their particular residence. I mean, their particular residency. So I'm gonna stop because I don't like talking to. When I do this work, I talk to people with ideas, but they can't show me that they themselves, right, or actually.
It's all good, Rich. It's all good. Let me ask you this. So it sounds like what you're saying is like these movements are going at the angle on an ancestry base, and you're saying that it should be more along the claim should be injured party, and you have to be able to show your injuries. And like the brother P said, these things should be easy to prove through redlining and, these companies that were based, slave ships, like the logs and all these things. We have enough to prove these type of things. But what discourages me is that You know, like we talked about earlier, how we keep getting these, how we have enough, but then keep going up to court and getting shot down and setting these bad precedents. Also, whenever you have President Obama, who used to be a lawyer, right, and doesn't even speak to reparations, and then you have somebody like Trump who spoke to it, which I just think is politics. It just gives me, it makes me dire. It makes me believe that it won't happen, because whenever you, like you said, we have everything that we need, but we keep failing whenever we go up, which leads me to believe that it's just a farce. It's not really something that can happen, which I hope it does, and I'm for reparations, right? But it just seems like we keep getting played.
Well, yeah, right. We are, but it is actually happening. So we have test cases that other cities and states are following, right? And so we actually have a winning test case that was able to prove harm and to deliver some reparations and weathered the attacks. So when you have something, and so now we know it has to be harm based, because harm based doesn't call for strict scrutiny of the government, because the government can easily defend that by saying that it has a responsibility to fix something that they themselves were part of, right? But and it's not overbroad. All I'm saying is ancestry, and the arguments ancestry and black and connecting it to this directed to the slave trade, that creates strict scrutiny where you could win reparations, and then when you win reparations, then you can strengthen it by doing things like in your city marking aspects of slavery by landmarks, by education. But let's win first, right? Let's win something first and set precedents so that we can build on, instead of following a path that we know causes strict scrutiny. Now, I'm gonna stop. I could Garfield. I'm gonna just listen. I don't want to argue anymore, and I don't want to argue with people who are not part of the process. I haven't written anything, right? I know this is a community board, but you got to give some.
Reggie, don't do that. Don't do that.
Yo, man, you real negative, man.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
You real negative, bro.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't worry about that.
I mean, you way too quick. It just seems like he's way too quick. No, I'm just saying, it just seems like he's way too quick to alienate people and push people away. No, that's not all good. Yeah, but the biggest problem we have right now is we real quick to bump heads with each other. It's like as soon as you go, a bunch of negative feelings fill up in your chest and you're ready to just push each other away. That is a problem, man. We can't be, it seems like we put up with more from them white folks than we do each other. I'm 50 years old, man. I'm not no young kid, man. I've been talking about this stuff for a long time. And one of the things I understand is when it comes down to something about
FDA, that's divisive.
What?
So let me ask you a question about reparations, James, just so we can move forward. So why does it have to be so hard for us, right? Other people who receive reparations from the United States do not have to go through the same loops that we have to go through, right? Why does it have to be so damn strenuous for us? Because, like, to me, Reggie's argument as far as proving injury or harm, that's evident, right? That's something that shouldn't even have to be proven. You would think that the United States would take responsibility, like Trump said, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, whenever you have the admittance that, slaves helped build the nation, right? And we know slavery was an injury.
What are you asking me?
Process. The point that I'm making is that if it hasn't happened by now, and it happened easily for people who've been injured by the government in the past by the United States, do you think that it's plausible? Because because I'm saying, since it's so evident, why do we have to?
I want to respond.
Go ahead. I'm just trying to make it
I know,
clear.
but you're
clear enough.
You're putting too much in there to me, and that dude keeps saying we don't have enough time. So I'll put it to you like this: the reason why they're getting it so easy over us is because the powers that be, the big money people that empowers all these shitty ass fucking
senators and governors that like go out of their way to just support damn near the Klan is because they are afraid of us. One of the most powerful potential forces in the world right now, potential, I said, is Black unity. All over the world, us unity, supporting each other like Israelis support each other in Hollywood. You get that? Everybody will shit bricks. And you'd be surprised at the people who admitted this. Lyndon B. Johnson had said this back then by talking about Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. If they were able to succeed in doing that and unite all of us like that, and we stayed that way, we stayed on code, there will be no problems right now. Staying on code, making sure we vote the right people in, keeping the right people in power, spending our money right, okay? Talking to our kids right. Everybody staying on code up to right now, today, you have no idea what kind of war we would have.
All right, cool.
We won't be going at each other in the neighborhoods. And the reason why is because those people are controlled.
All right, we got 5
Those people are obedient.
All right, James.
So what up? What up? What up? I've been chilling, listening for a moment.
Go ahead. You got 30 seconds. Go ahead, bro, because we're going to
And
close
the one
out.
thing that I don't understand. What up, Saber Reggie? What up, Brother Lon? The one thing that I don't understand about these conversations is how our particular situation and our particular involvement with this this government and these people is conflated with other people. So yes, other people have gotten reparations, but it's not due to the same circumstances and is not based off of the same situations. So if we're going to actually have this conversation on reparations, we have to place it in its proper context and understand the history of our people with these enslaving populations, the Arabic as well as the Christian. If we don't, then these conversations will continue to be conflated and misconstrued, and people will always wonder why things haven't happened.
All right, cool. All right. Hey, Vayasa, you want to say nothing before you go, bro?
Just peace, everybody. On a side note, Garfield, check your inbox and see if you got that message. Peace, everybody.
Yeah, this was a great conversation. I see you have another live coming up, Garfield. You still doing that?
Which one? Live where?
It
Today?
says 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock.
Which live is that I'm doing?
Look at you. You be putting up stuff and don't even know.
I'm confused as hell.
Look on your
Hold on, I'm gonna check right now.
Oh, you about to.
Oh, the one for the Byron has changed.
Yeah, you see it?
Chronicles and Sarah Cylinder. No, I'm not. I'm gonna change that.
Okay.
I'm gonna change that. We're definitely gonna change that.
Well, Garfield, thanks for having me on. I miss you. Come back to the Bronx.
I come back to the Bronx once in a while. Once in a while. All right, family. It's 3:57, 3 hours and 57 seconds. I just want to say thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for taking the time out to check me out today on a Sunday. Let me give you all all right. And for those who don't support the channel, it's time to bounce. Time to bounce, y'all.
Oh, you're going to have fun with the soundboard.
Yep.
All right, peace.
Peace. I'm out of here. Thank you, guys. We out.